Boom. All right. Can you refresh and see if it's going? No, nothing showing up. Oh yeah, it is.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. So, my God, so many technical difficulties today. Welcome to the Bardic Inspiration Podcast. My guest today, the assassin from Delaware. I have Eric Naples. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How you been?
I'm all right. Let's move this a little closer, and I'm gonna move mine a little closer.
Sweet.
Sorry for these crazy technical difficulties.
All good.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Yo, so early question I have to ask.
Okay.
Like all the fighters, I always ask them. What's the best walkout song, man?
The best walkout song? Shit. Okay, so I think it depends on, like, the crowd and the area.
Yeah.
Me, personally, because, like, the next fight to win is going to be in Philly, you got to go with Meek Mill.
Okay.
Something that hits
right.
hard, like, fast, and Meek Mill in Philly, people get crazy, so.
And slaps. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. I always had this idea where I wanted to do my own walkout song, like with a guitar.
Yeah.
Like if I ever happen to do a finisher, so I'm gonna be like, I'll do it. You don't have to pay me, but I'm doing this. I'm doing my own walkout.
So you just
song.
have, like, a huge cable to your amp.
Yeah,
and start playing.
exactly. Well, I'll just do like a wireless system.
Oh, yeah.
Some crazy shit like that.
You'd probably be the first.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like I can't steal the was it? Who's the announcer guy that like took off the clothes? I can't even remember. It wasn't Bruce Buffer.
Was it for UFC?
I think so.
Oh, man, I'd have to see that.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. Oh man, I don't know. It's escaping me. I have to Google that then. All right, but anyway, so let's kind of start with your background. So right now you are a purple belt.
Right.
Out of what gym?
Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Elite Jiu-Jitsu in Delaware.
Newark,
Okay.
Delaware. Team Hops and Mora.
Mhm. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So what got you into Jiu-Jitsu, and how did you end up where you are now?
So, what got me into it, so my brother had this friend, my brother John, he's a brown belt.
Oh.
He had this friend named Eric, and he was a purple belt, I think when he was like 17 or 18, my brother was hanging out with him. And he'd always tell me about, oh, this kid, he's like really good at jiu-jitsu, and he'd come over and put like UFC fights on, so I was kind of like exposed to MMA and stuff at an early age.
Mhm. Like how old were you at the time?
10 or 11.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah,
early.
but I didn't start training until way down the road.
Yeah.
And I
Just that was just the spark.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got really into watching MMA. Like, I remember my first like UFC pay-per-view that I watched was UFC 119.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was Amir and Crow Cop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a shitty UFC, but it was my first one.
Yeah,
so,
no, dude, that's awesome.
that was
I couldn't even tell you my first one. I was probably drunk when I was watching
it was
it.
it's
the first time.
I memorized like every one from that one to now. Like I could tell you every main event.
Oh, that's awesome.
But so I started watching the UFC and get more interested in MMA. I would play all like the UFC video games, and then eventually when I was 14, I was like begging my mom to sign me up for jiu-jitsu because my brother was already like he's either a blue belt or like a couple stripe white belt at the time, and he'd come over and like do jiu-jitsu shit on me, like show me like a straight arm bar, like you could choke someone out this way. So I thought it was so cool. So yeah, when I was 14, I was just begging my mom. I did like a trial, but my grades were shit in school.
Oh man.
So she wouldn't let me, and it wasn't until the next year I was 15, we finally got me signed up, and I started training when I was 15.
Okay.
And that was what, like 2013, I think.
Nice. So you've been training at Elite Jiu-Jitsu since then?
Yeah, the whole time.
Wow, dude. That's a testament to your loyalty right there.
Yeah.
That's really
It's a great
cool.
place.
So you're a purple belt now.
Mhm.
And so you've won since I met you.
Uh-huh.
I remember the first time I met you was at the Submission Arena event in Paper Street.
Yeah.
And you were late, and I'm like, who is this fucking guy? Slowing up the whole event, and then you cleaned up, and I'm like, all right, let me reserve my judgment on this guy. I didn't know if you must have went and got a hot dog or something at Sheetz.
No, we actually went to, there's a Dairy Queen. No,
Oh.
Cold Stone. There's a Cold Stone down the street from Paper Street.
Yeah.
And
You just had to get
I
it.
think we definitely went in on that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. Once you made it back, I was like, was kind of biased. I'm like, I hope this guy gets beat up for like
I'm not usually
making my
late.
job worse.
I'm really, really big
Yeah.
on being on time.
Yeah.
And like not being a flake.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people, like, if you're always late, you're always like saying you're gonna show up to somewhere and you
Yeah.
don't, no one will take you seriously.
Oh, dude.
And it goes a long way. Like, I don't want to say, oh, if you're late, you know, no one will no one will respect you, but it doesn't work like that. But it does go a long way, just being like accountable and reliable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that might have been the only time I was late to something since then.
I'm just busting your balls.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I kind of wanted to go into how you how your mindset is for competing, because that's kind of the main thing I'm curious about. Because every time I've seen a video of you or been to an event where you were there, you win. And I want to know what makes you tick.
Yeah.
So, like, for me specifically, I'll give you an example. I've been listening to a lot of, like, I just won a grappling industries tournament.
Nice.
And what, like, helped me win was I was just listening to David Goggins the whole time. Do you know who that is?
I'm not familiar.
He's like a former Navy SEAL guy. He's just this crazy savage dude that goes, like, super hard. So I was just, like, I had headphones in. I was just, like getting tunnel vision on a speck of dust in front of me or something. Just, like, getting hype like that.
Yeah.
So what's your strategy for getting ready for a fight mentally and even physically? I don't know how often you cut weight.
So I cut weight for every IBJJF.
Oh, really?
I drop like 7 or 8 pounds each time.
Oh, man.
But are you talking about preparation, like, you know, the day of, you're getting ready to get in the mode, or like the weeks coming?
Yeah, give me the whole camp leading up to, and then the day.
Yeah, so it's 2 completely different ways to get ready.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm leading up to it, I'm really irritable when I'm training. Especially if it's like a bigger tournament and I want to be more serious, I'm really irritable. I'm quiet. I don't talk to people or socialize as much. I'm nice when I can be, because being nice to people also takes you a long way. But anyway, I train hard. I do what I'm supposed to, and I leave. And then when I go home, I'll, it's like normal, except a lot more thought goes into what I'm about to do in a couple weeks. So I'm really thinking about stepping on the mat. I'm really thinking about getting my hand raised. I'm really thinking about, like, little things like walking off the mat after the first match and sitting down and wiping the sweat off.
And that's the weeks leading up to?
Yeah, you gotta think about all
the
that.
whole time. Like, you're visualizing the entire event.
Some people say to visualize you, like, shaking your opponent's hand, visualizing, like, the first couple moves you want to do, but all that goes out completely out the window for me, because every match I say I'm going to do something, I'll do the opposite. Whether I win or lose, I just always do the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think about the things that are inevitable. I will walk off the mat at one point in the match. I will, get my hand raised or not. So I think about those types of things. And that helps me get more comfortable when I walk into the venue. And I'm more like, I've come to terms with what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's leading up. I think about those things a lot.
Do you mainly visualize yourself getting the hand raised, though?
Definitely.
I know for me, because, like, I tend to be kind of empathic, I do not want to think about the other guy at all. Like, that's why I kind of, like, just get television.
Yeah,
I do
you
not
don't
even...
you can't attach emotions to that person.
Exactly. That's an adversary and not a person until after after, the match is over.
Even, like, looking at their Instagram and stuff, that's,
dude,
toxic sometimes.
It is.
Sometimes it's helped me, but most of the time, I'll look at their Instagram and their social media, their highlights, and I'll think that they're, like, a lot better than they really are.
Yeah, dude.
And when I go and, like, lock grips with them, I don't know what to think, because they're giving me something else, and they put on this act on social media, making, like, they're a lot better, and it messes with me, and, I'll lose matches that way sometimes.
Yeah. There's this, I think it's Rob Furtick, I could be completely wrong on the name, but he has this awesome quote that I follow with social media, and it's the reason, like, I only put really specific stuff on, and then, like, on Facebook it's all memes. Like, I don't really share most of my life.
Yeah, my Facebook is a little less serious than my Instagram.
Yeah, exactly, because that's got to be, like, the highlight reel, but the thing you have to keep in mind is the reason a lot of people struggle with insecurity when they're following these people who aren't even famous a lot of the times, or even well known a lot of the times, is because you're comparing your behind the scenes with their highlight reel.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a really important thing that you just touched on there.
If you do it too much, you'll think that their life is a highlight reel.
Yeah.
When it's not. They probably, they go home just like me and eat dinner like me. You know, argue with their girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
They got a normal life.
Yeah.
But now at, like, the actual competition, before I step on the mat, that's different. I feel like my preparation for a match is, like, completely different of most other people's. Like, people tell you, oh, bring headphones, listen to music. I don't think I've ever put headphones in once at a tournament. No,
nice,
I just
man.
don't do it. I walk around. I do, like, laps, not to like run and get a sweat, but I just walk and I pace the venue and I look around at everything. I look at matches going on, I look at the scoreboards, you know, I look at the refs, and I try not to talk to people again. I'm not too social like before I compete, because I have to stay in that mode, that winning mode, and like I just look straight ahead, bite down, make a straight face, and just think like, you know, gotta get past this first match. Like, just let's get past this first match, because I'm always super nervous. Like, I don't ever throw up before a match, but I don't know how many tournaments and competitions I've done. I always get nervous the same way.
Yeah.
But it goes away as soon as like the clock starts ticking and the match is there. It goes away and it's just like a rolling session. It feels just like training. But yeah, I keep to myself and I just keep thinking like, you know, let's get this first match done. Like, I got this, you know, positive thinking about myself. And then after that, if I want to, you know, relax a little bit, start talking to some friends, like over the barrier, like, yeah, man, like, thanks for coaching, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I'll loosen up after that first one.
Yeah.
Because I already did it.
Yeah.
And then the matches after that, however the day's supposed to go, that's what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Some things you can't control.
Yeah. So that first match, you think you're in the best headspace and the sense of building momentum for the rest of it?
Yeah.
And you kind of flow from there?
Definitely. How you feel and how you do in your first match is like a telltale for what the rest of the day is going to look like. Never once have I felt like an animal in my first match and then shit the bed in the next match.
Yeah.
Normally, if I lose a tournament, it's either first round or after a shitty first round and I win.
Oh.
If I feel good, you know, in the first round, you know, there's not a whole lot that can stop me except the person just being undeniably better.
Yeah.
And I do lose like half my matches.
Yeah.
I don't win all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I lose a good amount.
Yeah. Well, how do you handle like a loss? Like, do you think I've been a huge believer of like I don't know if I can't remember who the hell said this. I should have collected my notes a little better for this shit. But I think Bruce Lee was actually the one that said if you get a lot more from a loss than you do a victory. But he said it all, you know, ancient Chinese secret like.
So it took me a lot for that philosophy to grow on me.
Yeah.
Because I've matured not only as like a martial artist and a competitor, but I've matured as like a human too.
Yeah.
You know, like actually, you know, grown wiser. Because when I would, you know, compete when I was like 16, 17, I was just like a snot-nosed teen blue belt. I was tearing up like teens divisions.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing. And then when I'd finally lose a match in like an adult division, I'd get all shitty and, you know, I'd be mad for the rest of the day. I lose a couple more matches, I'm starting to realize, all right, it's nothing to get mad over, whatever. He's better than me.
Yeah.
Later on, up until, you know, about 6 months ago, now I'm starting to realize, like, when I lose, like, I have to take those losses and really learn from them, because I'm not going to be competing forever, you know? Everyone has a timer.
Yeah.
Whether it's 5 years, 20 or 25 years.
Yeah.
You have a timer and you really got to make the most of it. So I'll go back and watch the video, and I think I was talking to you before we started recording. My loss at Finishers, it was a super fight. I felt super loose. I was in the sauna the night before. I warmed up great. I stepped on the mat, everything went to shit. My knee popped like halfway in the match, and it was just downhill. And it didn't have to be downhill, but I made a really bad mistake in the match, like, technically.
Yeah. Was your mental state good?
It was
like,
perfect.
Leading up to that?
Yeah, it was
wow.
great.
It's crazy how that happens, man.
Yeah, but, you know, some things just aren't meant to happen. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if I trust that the reason I lost that match was for a good reason. Even though I worked really hard for it, I trained really hard, I took it seriously. I can't help it. I made a mistake. And the mistake was simple. I had like almost like X guard, and I should have kept like an Achilles grip around his foot.
Yeah.
For some reason, I underhooked it, and that helped him sit back easier and just grab an inside heel hook, and he started ripping it,
man.
and I screamed, dude. But I looked at that loss and I was like, okay, so if I have that guard, I definitely shouldn't switch it up. I shouldn't underhook it like an asshole, you know. Just keep it and keep working the game. Do the shit you train. Like I didn't train that underhook shit before.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did it, but I know not to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm confident to say like I'm not gonna do something like that again.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been in that situation though, like not in competition, but I can think of 100 times where I'm rolling with like a higher belt guy, and I'm like, this feels like the right thing to do, and then I get punished.
Well, that's any higher belt.
Yeah.
You know? Black belts, like, they make a fool of me, man.
Oh, dude,
it's
all
crazy.
day. Just dance on top of you with their knees.
Yeah, as far as opponents go, like, I think I do better when I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Because, especially with, like, me going to, like, Worlds and stuff, and Pans, I'll have weeks to think about everyone in my bracket. So there's, like, 30 people in my bracket, and I'd be lying if I say I don't look up 75% of them, which I know that's, like, cancerous to my game, but I'm gonna try to chill with that, you know, in the future, because I do psych myself out, and I do like get in my own head.
Yeah.
So
it's good to know that about yourself too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that I know tend to do that, and they're like, "Oh man, I don't know why I keep messing this up." It's like, dude, you do know.
Yeah.
Like, you know. So
I have two.
You know what you're doing to mess your game up.
Yeah, and if you like pretend you don't know, you're just like being weird. Like, just admit that you're doing something wrong, and you could fix it. You know,
you're trapping yourself.
Everything can be fixed. I have two friends. They're really good competitors. Junior Garcia from GFT in Maryland, and Daniel Myra. He's at NPR/Marcelo Garcia.
Yeah, I know him.
Those two helped me a lot with my mindset. Just, you know, motivating me, telling me, don't worry about this, you should be worried about this. Junior tells me all the time, like, you gotta rest, dude, like, you know, you're hurt, you got this coming up, just chill. And then Danny is more like, you know, telling me not to get so emotional in my matches, be professional. And I really appreciate things like that, because I've gotten super emotional in wins. Like, one of my last tournaments, I was just like pissed off during the match because it wasn't going my way. I was winning, but he was playing like a kind of a stubborn game, like chilling back, just defending, not really attacking. And I like countering, so I was just super mad. At one point, my belt came off, and I just threw it on the ground. I walked back to the mat, like ready to go, and the ref was like, "Yo, oh shit."
Yep.
The ref was like, "Yo," he put his hand on my chest and was like, "Pick that shit up." I was like, and then I realized what I was doing. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Finished the job, but I will probably never do that again, because the feeling of walking off the mat and then having to walk out of the venue to cool off is not good. Like, you should not ever compete like that, especially if you won the match. You know, I definitely wish I could take that back.
Yeah, it's just an unhealthy way to carry the culture. Even,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's just, you don't want to be that guy.
No, never. And so mindset is definitely like 80% of a tournament. It's and it's my biggest weakness. You know, my weakness isn't my skill. It's like what I think.
Yeah.
Not only about myself, but about what's going on.
It's funny. Everyone I've ever sat down and had a semi-deep conversation with about competition, that's always what they say.
Yeah.
It's all mental, man. Like, majority of it's mental. Because you know how to do it. You go to the gym and train.
Day.
Exactly.
I'd hope you know how to do it. You know.
It's funny. It's funny for that reason. So you're a purple belt now. How long did it take you to get to where you are? Because you started when you were a teenager, so you actually went through the intermittent belts in there. Like, I started as a white belt as an adult, so I don't even know where the yellow and the other belts are.
Our association does most of the schools in our association does a green belt. That's how Hobson Mora was brought up.
Yeah.
They did it in Nova União, and so we kept that tradition. And it's not like a money grab or anything. What it is we found that it keeps people interested, keeps people training, wanting to get better. You know, think about it. If you're a guy that comes in twice a week, it's gonna take you a long time to get your blue belt, like maybe like 2 years, which isn't long in the grand scheme of things. But if you give them a green belt when they start showing progress, maybe after 9 months to a year of that same person, they'll be like, man, you know, things are going good. Like, I feel myself submitting more people. I'm doing better. My coach thinks I'm improving enough to the point where he's promoting me.
Yeah.
And then they'll get him to that blue belt, because most drop-offs are before blue belt. So I think that's a good idea. But anyway, I got my green belt in like 9 months. Let's see. And then about 10 more months after that, I got my blue. I was a blue for like 2 years. I got my purple in September of 2017. So it took me close to 4 years to get my purple. and I will have been training 6 years come December, which I don't like saying that. 6 years is a long ass time.
Yeah, dude, it's like I'm just thinking, like, I just got my blue belt and I'm 27,
Yeah.
and just like thinking of whenever, if I ever do get my black belt, just thinking of that timeline is, it's dismaying. It's disheartening.
Like
to say the
everybody's
least.
different. Like, I try not to gauge myself with people that get their purple belt in like, you know, in like 2 years.
Yeah.
'Cause that's happened. Or people that get their black in like 5.
Yeah.
And that's happened too.
Gordon Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with my progress as far as like how much I'm getting better, at the pace I'm getting better.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't, you know, what else can I ask for? You know, I compete a lot. I cross train with friends all over the place. You know, I think everything is going well as far as progress.
Yeah. How often do you train?
So sometimes it's like 6 times a week. When I'm less active, it's no less than 4. I like doing like 5, 6 a week. It's pretty good. If I could do 2 sessions in a day on a weekend, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome that you can do that so frequently. How long's a training session for you?
I don't do the super long, like 3-hour ones ever. I don't get to, just because like the dudes in my gym, they're not down to like grind for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I'll make the most of what I can with like so we'll have technique in the beginning and then like an hour to like an hour 20 minutes of like open mat like rolling time.
Yeah.
And I try to make the most out of that. Like today I was at an open mat at this place Method MMA. It's in Maryland. So we did gi at 10 to 11, and then no gi like 11 to 12:30. So that's like 2.5 hours right there.
Yeah, no, that's a good session.
Then it was good. I needed it, you know, for fight to win and stuff.
Yeah, so right now you're kind of in that geared mode where you're preparing for fight to win. So I'm a rare person to get a conversation in with you.
Yeah. Nah, it's all right. It's like social hour right now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I appreciate you driving up here too.
Of course,
man,
dude.
I didn't know you just rolled before you got here too. Jeez.
It's all good. I'm used to it. I've been doing this for like 3 years now with the traveling all over the place to get different looks.
So you have a day job too.
Yeah.
Like you're a welder, right? So how does that balance with your training?
So at the gym I'm at now, well now I say that like I've been to a different gym, but where I train, the classes are at like 6 or 6:45ish.
Yeah.
And I get off work at 2:30. So I work from like 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I come home, do what I got to do, usually take a nap. I got to cut back on that, but
the naps.
yeah, dude, naps are my life, man.
Dude.
They've cost me a lot of training. They've cost me a lot of like, you know, just doing shit. But
I think it's important to get the naps in though, because you train in your sleep, you know. I think that's a huge thing. Like for me, especially.
Well, you rest when you're sleeping too.
Well, and your brain's working on what you did throughout the day. Like, have you ever gone through like a series of techniques? Like for me, guitar is like the easiest one to say. Like I know that's a thing. Where I'm like, I can't get this fucking sweep, and then the next day it's like, why is this so easy? It's crazy. Your brain does a lot of work for you when you're sleeping, man. It's insane.
I like the rest aspect of it mentally and physically. Sometimes I wake up feeling like shit. Most times though I wake up feeling like amazing. So the work doesn't cut into my training really.
Okay.
Because
that's good.
I couldn't ask for a better schedule really. 6 a.m. to 2:30. I have time to do stuff during the day, and I go to Jiu-Jitsu at 6 something.
And then you pretty much go to bed right after that.
Yeah, eat dinner, go to bed. So
that's awesome.
I have a decent schedule, and I do whatever I want on the weekends. You know, I don't have any obligations like. You know, and Jess is always down to come with me somewhere, like an open mat or something like that.
And she's a purple belt as well?
Yeah, she got her purple belt before me, and she started training after me. So that's a little, I got big shoes to fill, you know.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So you guys didn't start training at the same time. Did you meet at your gym?
No, we actually met at a tournament. It was like a new breed. And she saw me. I had like 6 gold medals that day. It was 4 or 6. Yeah, so she saw me. And we were actually on the same team then. We were RMNU, so she trained at this place called Zombie BJJ.
Oh, I know Zombie.
Yeah,
I have some friends there.
Yeah, it's a really good place. I love Zombie.
Yeah.
So she was with them at the time. And I was with, you know, my team Elite, both Hobbies and Mora. And we kind of figured it out because one of her teammates, Shaq, fought my friend Vlad in the finals at they were blue belts at the time. So we all started talking afterwards, and we realized we were the same team, and I think we spoke briefly. And so we, went separate ways. We didn't talk after that. We were at another tournament, and I ended up having to fight her teammate, my teammate too, technically, but her training partner, I guess. And I ended up winning the match, and I think that really impressed her, and she was like, "Damn," she's like, "I gotta start talking to this kid." I don't blame her, because that's 2 tournaments I swept in a row.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, I saw her again. We started talking a little bit after that. I saw her again. I actually had to borrow her gi pants because I forgot my gi pants, and they were pink. They were black and pink, but
That's awesome.
I wore them, and
kind of like your shoes.
Yeah, check that out. So I wore her pink gi pants, finished out the tournament, and then we started really texting and messaging each other after that. We ended up training a couple times, and then we had this long distance thing going on for a while, because she lived in Allentown, and I'm in Wilmington, Delaware. That's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But we made it work. She switched from what's it called, Team Hobson Moore. She went to Padilla BJJ, and I would train at Padilla's a lot, to see her. And then almost 2 years of that, we now live together in Delaware.
Nice.
And she's training with me at Elite.
I was worried about this button. My bad.
Nah, you're good.
Just noticed that. Still picking it up? Oh, sorry. Cool.
So most people that know the both of us know our story.
No, that's awesome. No, that's super cool. That's a nice origin story.
Yeah.
And you think, how do you feel like a jiu-jitsu relationship is? Because my girlfriend does really cool stuff that isn't jiu-jitsu, that's athletic.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to have an athletic girlfriend because you can relate and you both understand that diet's important, and there's a lot of stuff to hook up on with that respect of things. But with jiu-jitsu, I feel like you can come home and be like, I have an idea for a technique. What do you think of this? And I think that's really cool.
So we definitely brainstorm a little bit.
That's so cool.
We don't roll or drill in the apartment though. I know a lot of couples do, but we just don't do that because we train so fucking much everywhere else. Why do we need to do it at home?
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely brainstorm techniques. We got good at this little X guard / ankle lock series. We both started doing that at the same time, and now we're using it a lot in training. And Berimbolo, we started working the Berimbolo together. Now we both have our own little things from there.
Nice.
So when one of us starts doing something, it's pretty likely the other person is gonna start picking it up too, just because they see success with it. We learn a lot. She taught me a lot about leg locks that I didn't know.
What do you think your specialty is? If you had to pick like a series of moves that you're really confident in. Are you good in the guard, top control?
I used to think it was guard, and then I realized that I'm just a spaz, and I'm really good at keeping my guard and not getting past. I'm really confident in my sweeps and stuff, but I think my specialty is passing open guard. Most opponents, I find a way around their guard.
Yeah.
So I think that's my specialty.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm still working on my knives at this point.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think I've been... every match I won in that grappling industries, I think I won 6 matches there because I won gi
6 and 0?
Yeah.
That's a lot of matches to be winning.
Dude, David Goggins.
yeah, man. No, dude, if you can win 6 matches, no matter what the tournament is, you just have that ability to win 6 in a row. It's nothing,
it wasn't nothing.
I believe it, man. This shit gets tiresome. But
I had the right snacks and everything with me, though. I think that's another completely separate thing that I don't even want to experiment with. I'm gonna get the same exact shit I had then for every tournament.
If you could do that at blue belt level, I know you could do it at a higher level too. Yeah. So don't ever sell yourself short. Cause I only did that once. I only went 6 matches deep one time. Yeah. And it sucked.
Dude, it's grueling. But I think so I don't even remember what I was saying. Whatever. That's cool. That's awesome. So let me ask you, what do you do besides jiu-jitsu? Do you have any other hobbies? Are you secretly good at ping pong or something?
Am I secretly good at ping pong? No. I play guitar.
Do you?
You probably didn't know
What?
that. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I didn't know when
that.
the right time to let you know was. But I do. I started
That's awesome.
taking lessons when I was like 9.
Oh shit.
And
So you're probably better than me.
no, probably not. You're pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
But I stopped when I was like 14-ish.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, I couldn't have my parents pay for my shit forever.
Yeah.
But I still like, I sold a lot of my guitars, but the 2 that I kept, or 3 actually, I have a Taylor T5.
Ooh.
Yeah. A Big Baby
Alright,
Taylor.
I see you.
And the Big Baby Taylor is my favorite to play right now. Like, that thing is so versatile. And then I have a
They're
Gibson.
Very nice.
I have a SG Standard.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold my Les Paul.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what made you go with the?
With the
SG
I
instead
like
of
the
the
sound
Les
better.
Really?
My Les Paul is a studio, and
Yeah.
it had more of a deeper, not muffled, but it was like a deeper, warmer tone.
Yeah.
That SG sounds dirty and it's
Yeah.
crispy. I like the
You
sound
play
of
like
the
blues?
SG.
That's like
Not
SG's
blues.
like
I
good
like
for,
playing like with the electric. I guess blues is good too.
Yeah.
But mainly
That's like a blues guitar, like a jazz guitar, like the SG.
I like playing like 80s metal.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'll drink to that.
Fuck yeah. And
That's-
with the acoustic, I like hopefully no one here judges my music taste, but with the acoustic I like playing like 2000s like pop punk, just because
Dude,
it's the shit,
it is.
And even
dude,
like
I play shows now where it's everyone knows it,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna play country. You know what I mean? So
country's fun to play. I wouldn't perform it
It's
though.
yeah. Well, that country's cool if I'm not singing it or playing lead, or
Mhm.
I mean playing rhythm. If I'm playing lead and I can just have fun with it the whole time and pretend it's not country, then I can get after it. But otherwise,
I like playing it a little
Yeah.
bit. And then so yeah, the old pop punk, and then like a little bit of emo. Not like My Chemical Romance, but like Taking Back Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Brand new. Shit
that's
like
cool.
that.
I dig that. Yeah, I think my favorite band like historically, like up to like the last couple years where I started getting into like really progressive stuff.
Yeah.
But Sum 41 has been
Okay,
my
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
dude. That's like
they have good riffs, man.
dude,
It's fun. It's
the-
fun to
the
play.
Classic, just
Yeah.
the classic. Like you can get so much emotion out of their stuff, and like
Yeah.
it's not even like, oh, like, this is so deep. It's like, no, this is fucking lit.
Yeah.
Like I want to go fucking spray paint a building, and
Uh-huh.
it makes you want to do that.
They have
you
like
know?
Blink 182 type stuff, and they also
Yeah.
have like deeper like more from the heart type shit.
Yeah. Well, they
Like,
also
yeah.
have like good metal stuff, like the stuff off of Chuck.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
do you know that song, "The Bitter End" by them?
Bitter
I'm
End.
inboxing you some shit tonight,
Dude,
bro.
you gotta hit me with
I
it.
am inboxing you. I didn't know you played guitar.
Yeah, man.
Oh, do you have a sticker?
What's that?
Do you have a sticker from your gym?
No,
I should have told you to bring one.
Shit.
Damn, I forgot.
Could have added to the collection.
Yeah, I usually tell people to do that.
We have them for sale, but I just don't have any on
yeah,
me.
You could have just. I would have let you just take the.
Damn.
This is nice real estate right
Yeah,
here.
well, now I know I gotta
This
start
hasn't
carrying
reached out
stickers
there
for
yet.
that reason.
I'll give you some of mine, like all those Smash Brothers ones.
Uh-huh.
They're good ones. I just got a new batch of those Mewtwo ones.
Sweet.
I'd recommend it.
You watch the Detective Pikachu?
I did. I didn't even know Mewtwo was gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I wasn't gonna
I saw
watch
it
it.
twice actually, because they gave you Pokemon cards at our IMAX. So
Mhm.
I was like, all right, I gotta get these for my son.
We streamed it illegally.
Really?
It was just as good though. I wasn't gonna watch it because I was
Yeah.
like, this looks dumb. But she
Yeah.
made me, and I ended up really liking it.
Yeah, it was silly. Like it was good.
Yeah.
I think the part that I really liked was that thing they had like the Pokemon Fight Club where that Blastoise was fighting the Gengar.
Dude, he was
That
just
so cool.
I like the thing that was fucking beatboxing.
Yeah. What is that thing called?
know.
Loudred, I think.
Dude, he was just
Or
going ham
Exploud.
though. Like,
Yeah, he was going ham. That shit was
fucking
dope.
crazy.
No.
And then he got high,
Yeah.
and then he started going even harder. I was like, holy fuck! Like, damn.
You got the lean on him.
That was probably my favorite part of the movie
That's
by
fucking
far.
funny, dude.
Yeah, when they all got fucked up and started going crazy
got
at the Fight Club.
bombed. No, that's funny as shit. I'm actually really excited to fucking roll around in here. I want you to show me
Yeah.
something cool.
Sweet.
I'm excited. This is the first time I've ever had the mats laid. Like, I've had them stored in here for a while,
Mhm.
but I've never actually set them up. And it looks as cool as it is.
It looks legit too.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah, as far as hidden talents, guitar is probably my only one.
Yeah, no, that's super cool, man. We have guitars in here. If you're urgent to get out of here, that's cool. But if you want to fuck around, you saw the stacks and shit. I haven't.
Maybe not on camera. I haven't recorded anything in like 7 years.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I have some neat little stuff I could show you then too.
Sweet.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, Taylor's expensive, man. The acoustic guitar I use for playing out live is it's a Takumi 12-string.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, that probably sounds badass.
Dude, they're so big, soundy for what they are. Like they sound way bigger than they are. Like Takumi guitars in general. And then this 12-string is just like makes me sound like I'm two dudes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I know if you hit like an open chord on a 12-string, it's like the room just booms.
Rings, yeah.
You'll turn next.
Yeah.
Like, what is he about to play?
Yeah, that's another reason I like taking that to the open mics.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on over there?
And they'll assume that you're better than you actually are because you're playing a guitar with more strings. They think the more strings, the better they'll think.
Yeah. Well, like my main electric guitar that I use is actually a 7-string. Also, it's an Ibanez.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We'll fuck around. I have a Kiesel in there too.
I see dudes in like deathcore bands fuck it up on 7 strings.
Dude, well, my buddy Ethan. Have you ever heard of a band called Black Crown Initiate?
No.
No, it's like a death metal band or deathcore, I guess. I don't even know what the fuck genre you want to call it. But he's in that band, and they're about to tour Europe. He's actually one of the guys that owns one of those school buses in there.
Oh, nice.
It's funny. 3 of us rent this space. Each of us owns a school bus.
Yeah.
And that's
pretty cool.
is as silly as it sounds. But yeah, that's really funny. So let me kind of ask you. Do you have any recommendations for people who are kind of new to jiu-jitsu or anything? Like I always ask a lot of these guys because I want really for you guys to give the new generation something to look up to. Like how can you get someone that doesn't know anything about jiu-jitsu into jiu-jitsu? Maybe even recommendations for gyms to like open their doors better to new people that are timid about the sport.
So like my advice to people who are like looking to get into it or already into it and just want to stick with it.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So looking to get into it, I would tell them like it looks tough, when you're really doing it, it's not all that hard. You catch it quick. Like, if you have a good instructor, they'll take you through the motions, and you're in good hands in like 95% of jiu-jitsu gyms.
Yeah.
Especially around here. It's like Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. There's not a whole lot of shit gyms. I can name like 30 like excellent jiu-jitsu spots to like one like shit gym. So you're pretty much safe anywhere, I think. And if you're not, you'll feel it. You'll know like what's weird and what's not. Just go in there and try it. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not something you could see yourself doing for years on end, you got to really think about that, because if you go in there and you're like, I could do this. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it down the line, or at least be honest with yourself. Don't like buy all the gear. Go on, what's that website? They sell all the 93 brand stuff.
Oh, I don't even know.
What's the stuff they do the deals all the time? Don't go on BJJ HQ and like buy every single rash guard you see, because look, we know the brands that they sell on BJJ HQ. Look, I know the deals are good, but if you come in with like 20 different gis and rash guards from BJJ HQ, I'm gonna know what's up. I'm gonna know you're gonna quit in like a year. It always happens, man. If you're like a white belt with 1 stripe and you have like 6 gis, you're gonna quit. I have a pretty good sensor for that.
It's funny, man.
So if you know it's not gonna be for you down the road, just be honest with yourself, or cut back on your training. Don't go so hard 4 or 5 times a week. You'll burn yourself out and you'll like it even less.
Yeah.
If it's like a once a week thing, that's fine. There's plenty of people out there that only train once a week, and some of them even get really good. Now, if you already started and you like it and you're starting to get frustrated, my word of advice would be slow down. Like, you're gonna see people that are better than you in your gym, and you're gonna see people who have been doing it a long time and are like really good, and that can discourage you because you feel like you're not like worthy of training with the really good people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, nobody really expects anything out of you if you have a white belt timed around your waist. I know that a belt is just somebody else's opinion, But people get crazy and they're like, oh, I can't do this. This is hard. Like, I'll never be able to do that. Like, oh, you little guys make it look so easy. Like, yeah, I mean, but I'm not you. You know, there's like 300-pound like obese motherfuckers that that train a long time and they really enjoy it and they do what they can. You know, they don't keep up with people they see around them. They just do what works for them and what's good for them.
And they learn what it takes for them to enjoy it too.
You have to just slow down and realize, look, I'm not gonna be like a black belt in 3 years. You know, just learn what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Take it slow. You don't have to be like, you don't have to impress all the higher belts, because there's people that go into my gym all the time and they get frustrated like during drills and they're like, I just can't do this. Like, I can't do that move. Like, yes, you can. Like, if that guy over there can do it, you know, this chick over here, you know, everyone is doing it. Like, you could probably do the move. Just like slow down. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
Slow down, and you know, just don't think you have to impress anyone.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's your opinion of people who train a lot but don't compete?
I think those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Because they are the best training partners for the competitors.
Yeah.
Like,
you think their ego's less and that's a good thing? Maybe.
Yeah, because think about it. The more you train, the more you're going to be exposed to dudes that could whip your ass. So, someone that trains and doesn't compete a lot, they don't hold themselves to a higher standard than what they are. If you train a shit ton and you compete a bunch, you're going to think that you have this weight on your shoulders and people are going to like expect more out of you. And this goes back to not getting frustrated because you think people expect shit out of you. Mm-hmm. The guys that don't compete, like one of my best training partners, he's a purple belt. He's like 145 pounds. He is 48 years old. I didn't know he was 48 until like a year ago. I thought he was like 35.
That's crazy.
And dude, sometimes he submits me, you know?
Yeah.
Like he'll catch me if I'm lacking. He doesn't compete a ton. He actually just started.
Yeah, like competing?
Yeah, he did his first tournament.
Masters.
Yeah, he should have done like Masters like 10 or whatever. He was 48, but he ended up doing Masters 1 and he got third at a grappling industries. I think he went 1-1. I was really proud of him for that. And so like I said, he's my best training partner. I could tap him 5 times around and he won't give a shit. Like, we'll drill afterwards. You know, he could tap me once, I won't give a shit because that wasn't a match that I just did. He could tap me 100 times and I won't care because, you know, we didn't just do a match. And he wouldn't do the same to me, or he would do the same to me.
Yeah. He
wouldn't get upset. So I gotta really stop and I gotta appreciate those guys that they're there, they train really consistently. They don't compete, yet they want to help the competitors. Not just the competitors, but they want to help everybody.
Yeah.
You know, if they didn't want to help people, they probably wouldn't train so much. That's probably part of his day is, you know, seeing who he could help, whose day he can make better. So I really appreciate the guys that, you know, train really hard and choose not to compete.
Yeah.
But then you got the guys that don't train and they do compete. And it's just like... like, man, you're just gonna, you know, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're gonna make yourself upset. Like, if you're in there once, twice a week and you're taking like month-long breaks and you just come back for like a month and you hop in a tournament, if you win, that's great. But if you lose, don't play the, oh man, that was bullshit. Like, I had that guy, you know, like, should have trained harder.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, it's usually like lower ranks, like white belts that are like good white belts.
Yeah.
And they beat up the other white belts in the gym.
Yeah.
And then when they go to compete, they get smoked.
Yeah.
And they like, I don't know.
It's all ego.
It's discouraging for them, and you know they quit or start not training as less because they get their feelings hurt. Yeah. And those guys, they never come back.
I think that's one of the cool things about jiu-jitsu that I feel like I'm not really one of those naturally good, like really good at athletics guys. Like, I earn every piece of my athletic prowess that I have.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of those guys that come in, like that are my friends that maybe like used to wrestle and they're just kind of always cocky. They just,
Yeah,
they're peacocks. You know what I mean? I love jiu-jitsu for that because like, sure, you can get me with a takedown, but I'm gonna guillotine you immediately once we hit the ground.
You know what's scary though is when those really good wrestlers like they actually get good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, the guy I just interviewed before you,
Yeah.
his north-south is unparalleled. But at the same time, I will never choke to a north-south choke that isn't his, because his is world-class.
Yeah.
It's so good to have exposure to that stuff, man.
I had a friend named Brandon. Well, he's still my friend. I talked him into coming in the train.
Yeah.
And he was a wrestler all through high school, and he won states.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at his senior year at 170, and he placed 7th in the nation after that.
Wow,
He's
dude.
probably the best wrestler I know personally. And
that's legitimate.
dude,
Those
he
are
came in.
credentials, man.
He came in, started training, and he was a white belt. Would absolutely murder the white belt division just with his wrestling because he didn't even train 2 months before his first tournament. After so many of those, he started doing like the blue belt division. I talked him into doing that, and same thing. It looked no different than the white belt tournaments. He was just crushing these dudes. One of the last tournaments he did, he beat a brown belt in no-gi.
Yeah,
beat a
no-gi,
white belt.
yeah.
He actually fought Frank Rosenthal in an absolute.
What?
Yeah. He fought Frank Rosenthal, and he like had a good match with him, but he ended up getting heel hooked. Frank's he's a technician, man. You can't beat that guy with wrestling, But anyway, he fell off of jiu-jitsu. He wanted to do more like MMA, and so he's boxing a lot now. He's doing MMA stuff and wants to fight. And I just wish he had stayed because with him, I feel like he was learning jiu-jitsu, and I could tell his technique was getting a lot better. Like, he was sweeping people instead of just coming up for single legs.
Yeah.
Really using his guard. And I think the reason he didn't stick with it or didn't want to stick with it more is because he was relying on his athleticism and his wrestling. It's hard to do this, but I think that if he would have, played around more, tested his jiu-jitsu skills, and held back with the wrestling, it would have been more intriguing, and he would have wanted to learn more. But like, I can't say that because if I was a fucking beast wrestler, I would just be crushing dudes with my wrestling. I wouldn't give a shit about doing like a collar choke from side control. I'm just gonna smash you.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah.
But he's really cool. He told me he would like come work takedowns with me if I was ever doing a tournament. I wanted to work like takedowns. And I know he's still busy with boxing and stuff, so he's on the right path. Even though his jiu-jitsu career was short-lived, I think it was great that he popped in and tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool too. Like what you were saying, like he's helping you with the takedowns and everything. It's so vital to take advantage of a good, skilled, like especially like someone that's really good at teaching what they're good at.
Yeah.
Like I'm constantly flocking to those people. Like, oh yeah, if you ever wanted to do this, I'm like, I'm there. When are we doing it? Like, let's schedule it, please. Like my judo, like I have like a handful of judo stuff, and I'm good at those specific things. Like and then like the stuff we learned in wrestling, I can tie all that. Like I know a handful of takedowns, and they're reliable. I'd rather do that than be versatile.
Like the takedowns.
And then if I'm fighting a wrestler that's really good, I'm gonna just try pull guard or something.
Guard.
Yeah.
I only do the takedown game with someone that I know. Like, okay, I think I can put this dude on his ass.
Yeah.
And like the takedowns that I do, like you would think I'm like oh, he wrestled or something like that, but I was never a wrestler. Like, I just learned things from wrestlers, and I do them like they tell me to, and they work. I can't tie it all together. I can't mix in chain attacks really well, but I can do the stuff that I know. And if you just work on one technique at a time, eventually you will pick it up. I would like to do legit wrestling classes and learn how to get down and dirty and start wrestling.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that we have that every Monday.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Come up sometime, man.
Yeah, I will. I've actually never been to your gym.
Yeah. I want to go to yours too.
Yeah.
This is the thing too. Like, this is the reason I've been trying to rope in you outsider guys. I want to get those free day passes.
Oh yeah. Nah. Any training is good training.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're definitely welcome.
So, do you do anything else to supplement your training? Like, do you do weightlifting? Do you do any other sports that kind of help you be a better jiu-jitsu athlete?
I don't.
No?
I wish I did, but then again, I'm kind of glad I don't because, lifting weights is cool, gets you stronger, helps you fucking move people around the way you want them to, but I'm not a guy that, I'm training to be, the best in my weight class. I'm not training to beat bigger people in the gym. When someone's like, dude, you got to gain weight, you got to get bigger, I'm like, why? Why do I have to get bigger? Maybe you should get bigger. Maybe you should get smaller. Why me?
Yeah.
I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at my weight class, rooster weight, it's 127. I feel like I'm, the upper echelon of, strength there. I don't think I'm lacking there at my weight class. So, yeah, some strength and conditioning would definitely help me. And I know it would, it would get me to that extra step of strength. But right now, where I'm at what I'm doing, I don't think it's necessary. Now, when I'm getting ready for a tournament, me and Jess will go to the gym. We'll, do, one lifting session a week. I know that's not enough to get, jacked or nothing.
Yeah.
But we'll lift and we'll hit the treadmill, do a couple miles, just to supplement the cardio and stuff like that. I don't really even know how to lift properly. So,
Whatever works, man.
So people will tell me, you gotta do strength and conditioning if you want to compete at a top level. Those guys are fucking monsters. But then, Mikey Musa.
I don't know the name.
He's the only 3-time American world champion. He just won Worlds this year. Someone asked him on his Instagram story, he was doing Q&A. You're like, do you do anything to supplement your jiu-jitsu, running, are you on any specific diet plan, lifting? He was like, nope, just jiu-jitsu. So imagine this: a guy walks out of his house, goes to jiu-jitsu for how many ever hours a day, goes back home, wakes up, does again just jiu-jitsu, and he wins 3 world titles that way. I know he's an outlier, he's a freak at, he's super good, but that kind of tells me that, lifting weights and, all this other stuff, it's not completely necessary.
Yeah.
It will help some people, it will help most people, and it would definitely help me, but there might be a time where I start, picking up the weights, gaining a little bit, but right now I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
I like competing in my weight class.
I think it's kind of goes back to what we were saying with having newer guys come into the gym. Strength only goes so far, and I think technique is always going to be the thing that reigns supreme. So if it can be 1 good hour of jiu-jitsu versus 3 good days of lifting, the jiu-jitsu is probably going to be more effective because that's you're practicing the main goal there.
Yeah. And I know dudes that are they're giant, big chest, huge arms, but they don't know how to throw a punch. And they for damn sure don't know how to control somebody once they grab a hold of them. So, if you're lifting, to lift, you like that's your hobby, that's great. I know a lot of people like that and they enjoy it. But if you're lifting and you expect it to make you a badass and make you a god amongst men as far as physical confrontation, you've got it mixed up. There's so many more things you could do besides lifting weights that'll make you a badass. But I'm not gonna lie, if I see a dude that's huge and he has tattoos and I know he's never trained a day in his life, a scary dude's a scary dude. That's not
he might have a knife.
Yeah, man.
I take that leather vest for something that has a concealed weapon behind it.
I'll never looking at myself on the screen, I'm the skinniest person I know.
Oh my god.
But I would never pick a fight with someone that's huge, even if I knew they couldn't fight.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been the kind of guy where I bank on people underestimating me.
Yeah,
I love that. I love it. I love
awesome.
feeling I'm people look at me oh man, look at this scrub, because I want you to feel that way so that I clean you up.
Oh man, I've surprised people. I've definitely caught people off guard.
Yeah.
Train at someone else's gym.
Yeah.
I'm not a dick about it.
Yeah.
I don't just go around beating people up, but
It is. It's a martial art, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some ass whoopings in here.
Definitely.
Like, me personally, one of the main things I like to travel for is because I want to get my ass beat in different ways than I'm used to.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to compete, I really think, I don't know who shared it recently, but they were saying how training at multiple gyms and kind of reaching your feelers out is the best thing you can do for a competition.
Yeah.
Like, the more exposure you have to different techniques, because you don't know that this gym, maybe they don't know, maybe your gym doesn't do a lot of like footlock stuff. Like, I know there's a lot of gyms like that.
Yeah.
And then you can go to 10th Planet and learn everything you need.
Well, yeah,
you know?
I love doing that. People have like gave me like little backhanded compliments because I train at so I go to like the classes during the week at my gym like religiously all the time, and then weekends are normally for training with my friends at other spots, and they are like, oh, that's gonna affect your game, like you gotta stop doing that, you gotta stick with this. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty aware of my progress and stuff like that. I don't think it's hurting me, especially if I like keep my mind like I want to do gi and I'm just doing gi. I'm not gonna go train like a bunch of no gi. You know, I'm picking those weekends and I'm going to a decent gi spot and getting that work in. So I think it'll start affecting you negatively if you're like just going to open mats. Like if you only do one class a week to work on your technique, and then the other training sessions you have are like open mats at other gyms, and you're just rolling with different people, and they're fucking you up with all this different shit, and it's so much different shit that you're not going to know how to defend it at the end of the week. Like, what did I learn at the end of this week?
Yeah, you're going to corner your technique too. You're going to find out like, oh, this works to defend everything if I just turn into a ball. And then you don't know how to escape it. And you're going to lose by points regardless, or ref decision.
Exactly. So. And I know a lot of people that compete and they do just that. They train at like 4 different gyms a week, and they're not the most hotshot competitors. It's probably because they don't have enough time to work on their game. So I try to do a really good job of learning, drilling what I'm learning at my gym, taking it to somewhere else, seeing if it works on other people that don't do like my gym style. Because this sounds silly, but like, say I learn to pass a different way, one grip on me or something like that can throw the whole thing off. And if one gym is full of guys that like doing that grip, I'm gonna be like, damn, that shit sucks. Like it doesn't even work on guys that do that. So then I'll go back to my gym and I'll just work on it more. I'm still learning.
And another thing that's cool is you can show like the guy that's teaching you like, oh, what do you do in this situation, and he knows because you couldn't figure it out.
I always text my coach like when I go to an open mat, if he shows me something that week and I start working it, I'll go to open mat. And normally that's when I try the thing he taught me that week. And if it works, I text him like, hey, I went to this gym and tried it. It worked really good. And he's like, awesome. Or I'll go to an open mat somewhere and I'll be like, so this dude was doing this to me. What can I do for that? And he always has an answer. I've never been told like, well, I don't know. So the learning process never stops for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. How do you keep the passion going? Like, I know a bunch of people, and not just in jiu-jitsu, but generally speaking, when they're losing and they're on a streak and they can't break, that they're losing constantly, they get demotivated and they don't even want to pursue it anymore. Like, have you ever been in a stupor like that?
For sure.
And how do you get out of it?
Recently. Like very recently.
Because of the knee?
That had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, I believe injuries are completely different. Even
it started before that, like a couple months before that. So, what happened? I think it started summer of last year. I got like silver at this tournament. The match was super close in the final. I was like, fuck, should have won that. Actually, no, I did a fight to win after that. I did well. It started going downhill at no-gi pans. No-gi pans last year humbled me a lot. I lost the match 2-0, and like, I don't know, nothing I did worked on the dude. I just couldn't move him. I couldn't, submit him. It was the first time I ever lost first round at an IBJJF tournament, and this was weird because I passed the guy's guard, and I established side control. But we were like sort of out of bounds, so the ref said stop, stood us up, gave me points, and then we started back in the middle. the match goes on. So I'm winning 3-2. The match goes on, and then there's some there's some chatter behind the scoreboard, and the guy's coach, the ref, walks over to the table and is like, and I see my points go away, and I see his stay, and I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me? So I was hoping it was a mistake, and he raised the other guy's hand, and you can bitch all you want, you can't do anything about it. Like the ref's not gonna change the outcome of the mat whether you like it or not. So yeah. I just ate it. I didn't even walk around to like the warm up area. I hopped over the barricade, and I sat on a bleach and I cried like hard, like not just like. But I was balling under the bleachers. Yeah. My coach came over to me and he was just looking at me. He was like, he didn't know what to say to me. He was just staring at me, and I was on this like, oh, none of my shit works. Like I can't compete at this level. Like I gotta take time off. And he was just, I probably sounded annoying as fuck. So he was just like, do what you want. I walked away, and that didn't really bother me too much because I knew I was being annoying. But it took me a while to get over. And then I think my next match after that was like, oh yeah, finishers, the tournament, 125. I was doing really good in the match. I couldn't submit the dude. Some things happened in the match that I couldn't control, like some things with the ref, but that's not why I lost. He ended up beating me in overtime by like 2 seconds. Like my shoulders were on the mat, I was about to escape, and they called it like time ran out. He won. I was pissed about that, but I took that loss well. My next match after that was the finisher super fight, where I popped my own knee and ended up getting heel hooked. Yeah. And dude, like 3 losses at like big things, like big competitions. That would have been awesome if I won. So 3 in a row, it was like, I didn't know what was happening, because like at blue belt, I was not used to losing that many like events in a row. And even in the beginning of my purple belt, like I started my purple belt off pretty strong, and so now I think like, okay, I'm like a purple belt for a while, I should be getting better. Why am I doing worse? And I had no idea what to think, and I was like, do I have to like, am I capped? Am I gonna stop getting better? Are these guys gonna surpass me? Like, is it even worth it to fucking put all this money and traveling and time away from like my girlfriend to dedicate myself to competing at these things that I can't even win? So it took me a while to get over that. I go to Pans, I lose first round, 2-0. Super close match. I made a dumb mistake. I couldn't recover the 2 points. I go to Worlds, a couple months after that. I lose first round of the champion, 4-4, an advantage. I lost by an advantage. I wasn't mad about it, but I was like, dude, when is this gonna end? Like, am I ever gonna like start winning shit again? And I know it's not about the wins, but it feels good to win. I want to feel good. I don't want to always lose.
Yeah, that's what you compete for.
That's
so
not
testing yourself. Yeah, you want to pass the test.
So what I did is I really looked at what I was doing. Why am I losing? Okay, Nogi Pans, and Worlds, I lost because they got the 2 first, and I couldn't recover the 2 points. Why did they get the 2? They pulled guard on me first. I consider myself like a guard puller. Why wouldn't I pull guard first? Why did I just let them sweep me? And, it happened once. Why did I let it happen again in California? So I'm really thinking, and I'm like, okay, the problem's not with skill, because if I'm only losing by 2 points or an advantage each time, I'm not getting waxed and blown out every time. It's a tactical thing. It's like something that can be fixed. It has nothing to do with like how bad my technique was that day.
Yeah.
I mean, for the finishers, I got my fucking knee ripped apart. That was technique. But like the IBJJF stuff, 100% be fixed. So what I did is I like really like worked on like not game planning, but what I want my game to be as a competitor. Guys in my weight don't like stand up, for a long time. So I know I just got to be first. I got to get those points first. And whenever I get the points first is when I usually win. So I don't know why it took me 6 months and like 6 straight losses to get that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it happened, because instead of doing mediocre down the line, I'll do like exponentially better down the line, because I now know that about myself.
Yeah, you found a way to make it into a growth opportunity.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
It might have cost me a lot of time and, and money and stuff, but that stuff will make you a better black belt down the line. And because I know that, you know, I'm thankful for everyone that's handed me a loss that way. Those shitty 2-point losses, I'm thankful for those people, because now I can say that it's not gonna happen as easily. You know, I fixed it. You know, since Worlds, I haven't lost a match. I've only done like 3 competitions, but you know, they've all been really good. I've been happy with my performance every time.
Yeah.
So I'll have to. Oh, I did do an IBJJF after that. I did the BJJ Pro, and I won that. And I pulled first, and I worked my game. Turned out good. I got the sub. I want to do like another IBJJF. I want to win Nogi Pans, so that'd be cool to see how much I grew since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, those losses definitely did teach a lot about myself, and it wasn't until that last one at Worlds where I started to really mature and was like, okay, I have to start learning from these losses. And you asked me that earlier, like, you know, do you learn from losses? Absolutely, yes. Maybe not so much technique, but more like, you know, how do I win a match? What can I do to win these matches? And, you know, I'm feeling good about it now. You know, it took me one too many losses, but I feel good.
Yeah. So you do a wide range of different competitions. Like,
Yeah.
I've only did a few, and so far, I know that I like submission-only fights.
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of the point system, even with my wrestling background
Right.
from high school. What competition has the best format and why, in your opinion?
The best format. So, for me personally,
Yeah.
I like IBJJF. I know people will shit on it because either there's too much stalling, it's biased towards Brazilians, it's boring, but I'm gonna be honest, the high-level sub-only matches, they're not the most exciting sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, every
matter
rule
what the
set can be boring.
competition is, yeah.
People can manipulate every single rule set that exists. They can and they will manipulate it to make it like boring. So I don't think the boring part is valid, like, you know, or the boring argument is valid, like, because that's with every rule set. Now the most exciting to watch, I don't know. I think Fight to Win has it down with the exciting matches, because they don't give a shit if you get your guard passed or mounted.
Yeah.
If you're getting your guard passed and you're ripping on their arm as they're passing, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna look at you for the ref decision or the judge decision. They like care about sub attempts a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas with like EBI format, people like sub attempts. They don't like to see like passing the guard and stalling, because that won't win you matches, but the submissions will. So they rather see you go for submissions. But that doesn't mean anything if you don't finish the submissions. You could attack 1,000 submissions in 10 minutes and then make it to overtime and lose. And then what, you know? And it's not very, like, viewer friendly. Because people hate seeing someone getting their ass beat and then they win in overtime. So people will argue that, you know, the sub only is not the best format, which I like it, you know? I have no complaints, because I understand that, you know, every rule set, there's going to be something about it that people complain about. But for my skill set, I prefer the IBJJF format, because I'm a points guy, you know. I like passing the guard. I'm starting to get more submission oriented. Like my last Nogi match at Submission Arena, I was like totally submission oriented there.
You were so aggressive,
yeah,
dude.
It worked out. That's the first time that I went into a match and I just like didn't give a fuck about what happened. Like, all right, if I go for this takedown, like, I had a takedown early, and normally one of my biggest irrational fears ever, and this is like a real thing that's in my head, it's not just me saying it, I have a totally irrational fear of me getting guillotined as I'm going for a takedown. That's why I don't take people down. But I went for it.
I do it to wrestlers all the time.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Like, people like you are the reason why I fucking lose matches, you know?
Well, and Andrew's like signature move
Oh my
is
God, I know.
that 1 second guillotine right after the slap.
Yeah, I know. So I went for it and I got it and I was like, it wasn't so bad. And then after that, I felt loose, you know? I was, you know, doing stuff that I train every day. And when I feel that when I lose matches, it's when I try to do stuff that I don't train every day. People are like, oh, you look sick in that match, like, you were fucking awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's how I train.
Yeah.
You might not believe it, because some of my matches are shitty, but now with like this whole experience of me on this losing streak
Yeah.
and me coming back stronger from it, I feel more comfortable just doing what I do every day. So.
Yeah. The Phoenix factor is everything, man.
Mhm.
Rise from the ashes.
Yeah.
I'm with that. So, something I asked Andrew that I think you compete just as often as him, so I can ask you this question. It gets expensive out there, man, doing all these competitions.
Fuck, I know.
And very few of them give you like a financial reward out of it.
Yeah.
And personally, with me, I think I do like the competitive gaming and everything, and there you're paying a fee to get in, but it's going to a
Yeah.
pool that
Right.
you know top 3 get, or you know however many people the bracket is. So what can competitions do better? Like what's not fair? What can they do better? How can they? Jiu-Jitsu's not cheap, so how can
Yeah.
they make it so that it's more incentivized for you to keep coming to their competitions and everything?
So the answer to that question is gonna be, it's something that's already happening that I see in the community. I think around here, like finishers,
Yeah.
they're doing like an amazing job.
Yeah.
I love what finishers does, especially now that they have like the open tournaments and stuff. They're doing multiple divisions for every event, and if the money doesn't go in a pool, they have sponsors and they just throw the hell of money, 2,500. You win 4 matches. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
You know? So I really like what finishers is doing. And then you see in like the Northeast, like Deep Roots Invitational, they'll do like $800 for or 1,000. I don't know what it is. 1,500 maybe for like a brown belt in the 160 and under tournament. They have Fuji actually at the end of August is doing like a 140 and under, and I think 140 and over bracket for females. And I'm trying to get Jess to do it. I'm gonna talk her into it. They're giving like $1,000.
That's a stack, Jess.
Yeah, and like she doesn't want to, but she fucking made it to the finals of finishers, like the first women's finishers, and she was an EBI, so she sells herself short, but she would kill that thing. She would take that money. But yeah, more and more tournaments are offering more money.
Yeah.
Or not more money, but money period.
Money period, yeah.
Like even IBJJF, people would always bitch like, oh, they don't pay you, it's so expensive, and you know, you lose a ref decision, then what? Well, they're offering their black belts like I think it was $6,000 to win the World Championships in June. So everyone that won their division, I think they got like a few $1,000.
Yeah.
And that's huge for an organization that never gave any money for Worlds.
Yeah.
And now they're doing $6,000. Like, that's crazy. The BJJ Pros, the one I just competed at, I didn't do the division for the money. That you have to do like the absolute for the money, but it's like purple belt's 600, brown belt's 800, and then when you get the black belt, if you win your weight class at black belt, it's 4,000.
Nice.
So it's decent money. You know, for an amateur sport, it's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Especially with like the little ones, like and like even like finishers has like a tournament circuit out in the Midwest. They're expanding, and there's just a lot. You know, if people want to complain about the money, just like look around. Travel a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
You want the money, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to travel. Get a sponsor.
Yeah.
You can't just like me. I work a day job, and you know, I travel to all these tournaments. It's coming out of my pocket. That's okay because I expect it. You know, I don't think the world owes me anything because I'm training a lot.
Yeah.
I choose to do that.
Yeah.
I could be doing anything else, but I choose to do jiu-jitsu because I like it. You want the money? Get a sponsor. Tell the sponsor to fly you out. Go win the money. Pocket that shit. You got to get sponsors if you want to, you know, if you want to get paid more.
Yeah.
But I do think jiu-jitsu is going in the right direction. And even it used to be just no gi would offer the money. Now gi tournaments are doing it.
Yeah.
And I like what Fight to Win does. They pay you. They pay you if you win a decision. They pay you more if you win by submission. Every win over loss, they give you an extra 10%. So they're doing a good little thing. So, nah, it's not a little thing. Fight to Win's huge, but you know.
Yeah.
I think it's going in the right direction.
I think Fight to Win is. I just watched a big CFFC fight.
Yeah.
That was awesome, but honestly, you can compare it to Fight to Win's events, and that's how cool they are.
Have you ever been to one?
What, to Fight to Win?
Fight to Win.
Yeah, they're fucking
They're
awesome,
fucking crazy,
bro.
right?
I love them, dude. They're
It's
so
like
good.
It's like a party there.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was just like that CFFC thing, and it was at the Parks Casino, and that was bigger than the Fight to Win I was at in Philly. but still, they can both hold a candle to each other. The production value is exquisite.
Where was the CFFC?
The Parks Casino
Okay.
in Philly. I don't know if you know where that is.
Not familiar.
Yeah, it's a big ass casino. You've been to one. You've been to them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. The heavyweight fight was the opening fight, and both of the guys hit each other in the nuts. Like one round, this guy did it. The next round, this guy did it. I was like,
I've only been to one live MMA show ever.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely go to another one.
Yeah, they're a good time, man.
Those things are cool.
Yeah, they really are.
This one dude, I know him, like, we're friends on Facebook and stuff, and he got like a 13-second knockout in his, like, I think he's still amateur, in like his third amateur fight or something. Like a 13-second knockout, and the place fucking erupted, dude. Even the people that didn't know who he was, they were just screaming. It was insane. Like, the energy is crazy at MMA matches or fights.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it really is. There was one chick that, like, she walked out and just screamed at like, we were waiting for the next match to come on, and, like, they didn't really give her much of an introduction, but she just walked out, and then the music came out after she screamed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And then she lost. I was just
man.
like, oh my god.
But you know what? When you're in that mood, you're fucking dangerous.
Yo, for real? Definitely, man.
If you see someone, like, scared and timid, like looking at the crowd, like, it's... Unless you're Grace Gundrum.
Yeah.
You know, not that she's scared or timid, but she just walks out, like, so chill. Like, she'll kill you. But anyone else, if they're walking around and they don't have that energy, you can kind of tell that they're not going to be, like, on that next level of savagery.
Well, the one, there was a guy like that. Like, the one guy he was fighting was just shadow boxing super good, and then he's just chilling. I'm like, man, I'm worried about this guy. Yeah. He got TKO'd. It was rough. I love the violence, though, man. I want more of it. Every time I go to one, I'm like,
I like when there's beef between the corners. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I love watching physical confrontation. It's great. Especially when I'm not in it.
Element.
Yeah, I love when I'm not in it. I get to watch it.
The drama element always adds something to it.
Yeah, my friend from 302, he knocked this dude out. Did he knock him out? Yeah, he knocked him out with a body shot. And his friends, like my friend's friends, were like talking shit to the corner. They weren't even like, you know, his training partners, just friends. They were like talking shit to the corner, and then they like wanted to step outside and they were shoving each other and stuff. Like, yo, why are your friends just acting up, man?
Out of control. That gang violence right there.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
That's funny. Babe, do we have any questions or comments in there? I forgot to ask. Okay, so you've been keeping an eye on it. Do we, and is the audio good? I just wanted to double check that. The audio's good, the zebras are on. The what? The zebras are on.
You see them.
Alright, well, there's a way to turn that off. I don't know how to do it. So these right here. Yeah. It's the camera has a feature where basically it shows you like this area is extra exposed. So.
Once you close your face gets over.
Oh my god.
Really? Oh man. Shit. That's funny. You got that white forehead. No, that's super cool, man. So, you've actually gone to California to fight.
Well, I've been there 4 times now.
For
I think
Pans, right?
3 times to fight.
Yeah.
Or, you know, compete.
Yeah. For Pans, is that what
So I did Worlds once at Blue Belt. I did Pans this year, and I also did Worlds this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jess and I both did both Worlds together, and then I flew out.
Is that the one you both won, and then she was holding you?
No,
like
no. That was.
I love that
we've done that. We've done that at a bunch of tournaments now.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, I think we did it like 3 times now. We're gonna keep it going. Maybe even fight to win. Like we'll have our money, and then we'll do it with the money.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope to see that, man. So that's this weekend, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I'm so excited. All my friends are on there.
Yeah.
And I have like 8 people from like my association total. Like, that never happens. This is going to be the best card yet, I think, in Philly.
Yeah. And you get paid out of that if you win your match, right?
Yeah.
Like, Fight to Win's really cool with that. I think, like, because it's not really a bracket thing. It's like, if you win, you get your cheddar, you know?
Like,
that's really cool.
Guaranteed you're getting paid. And if you sub the dude, you get double.
Yeah. That shit's so cool, man. I think the more competitions can give back to the athletes that are basically doing the promotion, like they wouldn't be selling these tables without guys like you know, filling them. So I think that's such an important factor.
And what I noticed is fight to win will get a lot of people. They don't care if you're an active competitor. They give everybody a chance. Like, you'll see like people that like you've never even seen in a tournament, you didn't even know they existed. They'll be on a fight to win and they'll kill it, and that'll open that person up to, you know, the competition scene, especially when they get paid. You know, get them feeling real good, and they'll start competing more. It makes competitors out of people. I like that they give everybody a chance. They don't care if you're like a world champion or you're killing it at super fights. They don't look into that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, if you apply, you know, you got the same chance as everyone else on getting in, especially if you're a lower belt.
Yeah.
Black belts, obviously, you got to pick and choose, but
Yeah. That's super cool. I'm hyped, man. I
Yeah,
got this.
it's gonna be
I'm
sick.
doing the battle at the beach at the beginning of August. Like, I'm
Battle at
just,
the Beach is a good tournament.
Dude, it's-
I really like it.
the first time, that was the first like tournament I ever did last year, and I
Mhm.
lost to like the first one. I made like a noob mistake, and I was just so poorly mentally prepared because I was
Yeah.
doing like you were saying, like I'm like googling everyone's name, like who am I fighting? Oh,
yeah,
like,
man.
this guy's a cop in my bracket. Oh no,
He's gonna fucking tase me in the middle of the match, man.
So I'm just like looking around, like I just did terrible things, and then like the worst thing for me that I found I can do is ask everyone what their advice is in the moment. Like, what do you do to prepare? Oh, go run up those stairs. Okay.
Oh, no,
I'm gonna
man.
go get.
No, dude.
I was just taking everyone's advice on how to get ready. And
I'm
then
not trying to have some dumbass telling me to go on the boardwalk and like rub sand in my face
Yeah.
before my match, you know?
Dude.
'Cause you'll get that. You'll get some like weird ass remarks.
Yeah.
If you ask the wrong person.
Yeah. Well, it was just so bad. Like I got rear naked because I just gave up my back, and I'm like, I'm not gonna tap. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then I ended up tapping. That was just so bad. It was just like
You ever gone to sleep in a match?
in a match. No, but I've been choked out before.
I never have.
No,
I've never
I feel like you should just to know what it feels like.
I
Yeah.
was awake. Like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
she,
it's a good thing that like to know the sensation. Like it's dangerous to it's
So-
kind of like you're walking around with an aneurysm as a loaded gun in your
Yeah.
brain without knowing what the sensation is.
Yeah.
You know.
Jess got me pretty close. It was a loop choke in the gi, so she had it, and I was like,
Was that in the bedroom or just?
no, the time where I almost went to sleep, that was in the gym.
Yeah.
So she had a loop choke, and I wasn't about to tap. I was gonna see how long I could gut it out, but I didn't even feel like I was getting choked, and I just started like my hearing went first.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
my hearing went first, and as soon as I could like, I didn't hear like the music that the gym was playing in the background anymore. So I was like, oh fuck.
Something's wrong. Something's awry.
I tapped, and she got up, and I was on my back like this, and it was like I was like super sleepy, and I couldn't move, so I was just like this.
Yeah.
I couldn't move anything, and I was like, I couldn't see either, but I was awake. I could still like know what was going on.
Nah,
around me.
you got choked out.
Nah, dude. It was just for like 2 seconds, and like my vision was like I could see like.
Well, that's what
this
it
much.
is. Like it feels like you're having a dream, and then you wake
Yeah.
up, you're like, why am I not in my bed? Like,
Yeah. But I was responsive the whole time, so I think I was like
Yeah.
one more second away from going like completely
Yeah.
like snoring.
That's funny, dude. I remember at the Grappling Industries tournament I did, like right when I slap bump with the guy, like 2 seconds in, the ref was like, wait, because on the other mat, like a dude was just zonked.
He's dreaming.
Yeah, and he was foaming in the mouth, and like I didn't know he got choked out. I thought he got like dumped on his head or something. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
what just happened to that guy?
I think I've done it like 4 times, like slap people.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh wow, like you've choked people 4 times?
yeah.
Damn, dude. That's a lot.
No, like
In competition?
yeah, like
Oh my
put 'em to
god,
sleep.
dude.
So,
People just don't tap.
so like 3 in competition and 1 at like an open mat. Oh yeah,
What's
there's
that
it.
one?
That's a Darce choke.
That's one that you did?
yeah. So it takes a while to get to it, but
Oh my god. Yeah, if anyone that wants to check this one out, this is on Jess's Instagram. It's FlowerBudBJJ. You're the blue guy or the
yeah, the blue guy.
Yeah.
So when
I
I
can't
finish
see-
my
I couldn't see
Darces,
your
I
face.
like to sit through, and my Darce is like a guillotine, and me personally, because I have long skinny arms, it gives me a better squeeze.
Oh man. That guy's he's out already.
Yeah.
He's been out. Damn, bro,
Yeah, man.
zonked. Yep.
That's my favorite one.
That one's good. Look at him. He's like, oh, am I doing jiu-jitsu right now? Oh shit. Did I just lose to this guy?
Yeah. And AJ, if you're watching this, I'm not that video. This is a different video. I don't mention that one. We don't talk about that. Me and AJ are friends.
No, that's crazy, man. Yeah, it happens. I think the last one I saw was Andrew he didn't tap him. He put Rob Best to sleep. Yeah, that one was rough.
That was an awesome
People
match,
just don't.
too.
People just don't tap, man.
One of these days,
People
I'm gonna
just
do it. I'm gonna do it on purpose. I'm gonna go to sleep on purpose.
Yeah.
You know?
I think like the best thing you can do is just be like put your arms out and just be like, choke me, and when my arms go down, like hold it for another half a second and then let it go.
So I'm waiting for like.
It's like getting blackout drunk, you know. If you drink a lot, it's the same thing as like a rough weekend. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until I'm in like the finals with like someone that I like that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or if I know he's genuinely a good guy, he like, you know, deserves the moment. If at any point in the match he gets me in a choke and I can't get out, I'm gonna just let him sleep me. You know.
I think my attitude going into this one, into the battle at the beach, is like, I'm not gonna tap. If I get beat, it's gonna be by points, and it's not gonna be by many. Like I'm going for takedowns right out the gate. Like I'm just gonna play really aggressive, because when you have submission only with no time limit, you can chill, and that's what I like to do. But I can be pretty explosive at the same time, so I just need to harness that adrenaline.
If I ever say I'm not tapping, there are 2 submissions in mind that I for sure will tap to, and that's any kind of shoulder lock, Kimura or Americana, because like once you hurt your shoulder, never the same.
Dude.
And any sort of heel hook.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not one of those guys that can just look at you in the eye and like let my knee get twisted. Like, if it's there and you got it, and I know that I'm not gonna be able to grip fight or boot or anything like that, like. Yeah. You know, I'm too young to be messing my knee up or my shoulder.
Have you ever seen anyone get their like heel hooked and it like to completion?
Like until it snaps?
Yeah. Andrew did it to someone once, and it sounded like a 22 going off. I was like, it went. Bah! I was like, ooh,
sorry,
dude.
I've heel hooked people in competition, and their shit popped before.
Yeah.
I did it to one of my good training partners. I was a blue belt. I had him an inside heel hook from 50-50, and he was just like. So he was like this, and he tried to like come into me with his heel still like, you know, completely trapped under my wrist, and I didn't really torque it anymore. Just him coming into it, it was like
he caused it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and nothing ended up getting hurt, but
Oh, he was hurt the next day, bro.
Oh yeah, it said it was sore, and then at Battle at the Beach actually, when I was a blue belt, it's like one of my last blue belt tournaments. I fucked this dude's knee up. Same thing, 50-50 inside heel hook. And this one was weird because and I looked at him and I looked at the ref and I kind of like let one hand go. I was like, it popped. And the ref was like, just looking at me like he didn't hear a word I said. And the guy was like, I didn't tap. I was like, okay, go off, I guess.
Back on.
So I put that hand back under and I started just like, I didn't rip it all the way. I was just like kind of turning my shoulders and he ended up tapping.
Yeah.
But like, that extra 3 seconds was unnecessary. Like, dude, it already popped. It can't be good.
Oh, God.
Never had
foot stuff, man.
Yeah, never had my leg messed up in a leg lock. Because even in training, like, I don't tap early, but once they get the grip, their grip is completed. Mm-hmm. How much can you do?
Yeah. Like Zach Edwards is a great example of a guy, like, he touches my foot, I'm tapping.
Yeah.
Like, unless he's like really going easy on me and like we're fucking around and usually what happens is like he'll let me get one of his feet in the honey hole and then he'll go start working on mine and then I'll be like panicking the whole time. But that's the one time I'll wait and then I'll just be like waiting the whole time like, what are you gonna
right. Zach's bigger, but he's a good roll.
Dude, he's so fun.
I try to fucking kill him when I roll with him just because like I know he can take it. It's funny. He taps me with like any kind of leg lock.
Yeah. He's an animal, man.
He's a fun roller. He's a good training partner.
It was super funny. It was like in the winter time or something. I had mentioned, it was like 30 seconds left on the clock, and someone had a baseball bat choke on me.
Yeah.
I think it was Andrew, actually, and that's why it was like a big deal. Because I lasted the 30 seconons out, and the clock saved me. And I'm like, I don't tap to that bullshit. And then Zach heard me say that, and he's like, oh, yeah?
Oh.
So, like, we rolled around. He fucked my feet up a little bit, but I didn't tap. The next week, everyone was gunning for the fucking baseball choke on me.
No.
He eventually got it. And I was like, it only works if you're a purple belt, man. It only works if you're a purple belt.
Yeah, I've never had like any kind of like I've never had any like, competition, like not competition, but like competitive type banter in my gym with that stuff. 'Cause
Oh, really?
I fucking tap, man.
Yeah, no, like I'll tap to stuff if it's like legit, but some things I have a good defense for, so I want to challenge people to put it on me, especially if they're a high belt.
Mhm.
And like that was just one of those days. Like everyone that was purple, brown, and black were just like attacking me with that. They were
Yeah.
neon belly baiting me, and I'm like, it ain't gonna happen, bro. It ain't gonna happen.
Me and Zach were actually messing around one time. It was at the 4th of July open
Yeah,
mat.
dude, I'm so mad I
Dude,
didn't
you
fucking
should've
go to that.
been there, you
Everyone went
asshole.
there, bro.
It's the
Everyone
best
was
open
there.
mat ever.
Dude, everyone
It's
was fucking
crazy.
there, man. I was so upset.
So, me and him were messing around. Like at the end, I jumped and invenaried him, and we started rolling for like a couple seconds. And he got me in an inside heel hook, and it wasn't like a round. We were just fucking off. And so he wasn't looking at me. He was like working on his grip, and I was like, all right. So I just stared at him right in his face, and I waited for him to look at me. And he had his grip. He was getting ready to finish it. That's why he looked at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just going like this because I knew he wasn't gonna do it. And he just started laughing like so hard, like. And I could just imagine, like, there's people out there that are, like, dead serious, and they will do that
Yeah.
and get their shit snapped.
Dude, I want to interview those guys. I want to get in their heads.
They'll be like, yeah, I didn't tap. I've never been submitted.
I guess that's the mindset. It's like, those are the guys where, like, their big brother, like, always had him in the
Yeah,
chicken
yeah.
wing. Like, say, uncle, I won't do it. I won't do it. Mom. Oh, man.
The dudes that don't tap, they get irritating sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I like humble rolling partners that, like, they compete, but they know it's just a roll, you know?
Yeah.
I like to experiment. Like, when I'm in competition, I'm a little more conservative, but I'm not scared to tap. I want you to tap me. Like, I wanna see. I need to put myself in weird positions. I need to get vulnerable.
So it's funny because like 75% of the people that I train with after I competed against them, if I beat them in the tournament and I go to train with them, they'll whip my ass. They'll tap me because something about me, like I feel like it's the reason I have an edge sometimes in competition, is because maybe they train like they compete. I don't train like I compete. I reserve a little bit. So if they're giving it their 100% in a tournament, I'm giving it 120. And I'll just, like, I'll win the match.
Yeah.
But when we train, I'll get fucked up because you can't match that mode.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and-
you need to reserve that mode too, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you can't train beast mode. It needs to be a
Yeah.
part of your persona. You need to let it out when it needs to be let out.
But there's dudes that train beast mode. I can't do anything to them. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know. Like, those are the guys that don't tap too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's a wild way to be, man. Some of the, like, there's guys that train like they're really like brutal. Like, they'll give you the fucking like all these and all the fucking like
Yeah.
the chin drags.
You know?
I like rolling with them like every now and then because I need to make sure I'm sharp to that.
Yeah.
But
So,
they're not fun to roll with every week.
I
you
have
know?
mixed feelings about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, digging for chokes across the face and
Yeah.
stuff. I like it because it's real. It's realistic.
Exactly.
I do it to people. So if I have to scrape someone's face to get a rear naked in, I'll do it. Or one thing I've been doing recently, I've been finishing chokes in training. Like, if it's on the chin, I'll separate my elbows and crunch it in and finish it with that.
Dude, that shit is brutal.
After
That's where your fucking
Yeah,
ears go
man.
and your fucking jawline goes back. That shit's scarier than the
So
choke.
after the roll, I'll be like, I'll tell them like, hey, I just like, I have to explain to them that I'm not like being a dick, and
Yeah.
they usually get it because
Yeah.
I'm a small guy. I get my ass whipped all the
Yeah.
time. So if I catch a submission, I'm not one of those dudes that like, I'm not like some angry little dude that hates the world.
Yeah.
Like that midget in the
Yeah.
fucking bagel shop.
Yeah.
So-
We in our gym, like, there's a guy, shout out to Tom if he's watching this. He's like about your stature, and he's like he lifts a little bit, but he's one of those guys where if he gets a sub, he needs to snap it. He needs to get it in deep fast.
Yeah.
Cuz he's not going to match my strength, So I know that, like, and there's like a 16-year-old girl blue belt in there too. And like if she gets me in something, I know she's gonna go for it quick. So I need
Yeah.
to. You have to respect them, you know.
And
I want you to roll hard if you're light, because I know I'm gonna get snappy gameplay out of you that I won't from other people.
I'm like waiting for the day that I'm rolling with someone that's like 180 pounds, and I got an arm bar and I need to finish it fast because.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, that was insane.
She just honked the bus horn.
I was reading that. I'm so
It's
That
okay.
scared the shit out of me.
That's awesome. Oh shit. What were you saying about the armbar?
Oh yeah, so if I'm rolling with someone that's like huge, and they're like
That's
180 or
funny.
something, like 50 pounds on me, and they complain like, oh, you finished that armbar really fast. Like, if I sit there with a halfway straightened armbar, that person's gonna like lift me up, grab my neck, start crunching me. Like, you know, I gotta get my reps in too. I
Yeah.
never try to like hurt anyone. Like,
Yeah.
in me doing that armbar, I'm getting to the tap quick. I'm not getting
Yeah.
to the break quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
well, and it takes experience. Like you gotta be seasoned to know the
Yeah.
difference
And
too.
I feel like I can do that.
Yeah.
But I never had any complaints.
Yeah.
No one has ever said that I go too hard because I'm like kind of a bitch. I can't go that hard.
Yeah.
I'm fucking weak as hell. Like, look at my arms are so skinny,
Oh
dude.
my god, bro. I feel like your build's like mine. Like once you get a pump in, you're twice as big. Like fucking OG Trunks
I've
status.
like looked in the mirror after like a session. I'm like, fuck. I'm like
Yeah.
jacked.
It's like, what do I weigh? 150 today?
I'll
What's
look at
going
her.
on?
I'm like, babe, I'm kind of big, right? And she'll be like, no.
She sees right through the pump.
Yeah,
That's
she
funny.
knows.
That's fucking funny, man.
But I don't know what people think. I don't, and they won't say it to me.
Yeah.
But I hope that I'm a good training partner. You know,
Mhm.
I try to make sure I help people. I try to make sure I don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And if I catch myself going too hard, like, I'll apologize. Like,
Yeah,
one-
especially against like white belts. Like for me, I'm a blue belt, so
Yeah,
there's not
yeah.
many people under me. But
emotions are definitely like my biggest weakness. If like a white belt's giving me a tough time, I'll like bite down. I'll get like mad, and I'll just have to complete that pass. I try like super hard when I don't have to. And even if like I'm getting ready for a tournament, I'm like in that irritable kind of mood.
Yeah.
It's worse. And I'll like, you know, if they're passing me, I'll frame on their face. I don't care if I'm hitting them in the
Yeah.
nose. I do that a lot, and I'll tell them afterwards. I'll be like, hey, good roll. Like I'm sorry if I was like, you know, like too pushy.
Yeah.
They'll usually be like, nah, you're fine.
that's like my week leading up to a comp. Like the week before Battle at the Beach, I'll train every single day. Like
Yeah.
I'll be in the gym. Like usually what I'll do, like when open mat starts, is I'll roll at Andrew early, and I'll be like, where's the holes in my game? Like what
Mhm.
do I need to fix like now? Like I have a week left. Like
Yeah.
whatever I did like a month prior is secondary to what I need to fix right now.
Mm.
But yeah, with like white belts and stuff, I like to be casual with them. Like I'll never
Oh,
be
yeah.
brutal with them. Like as far as like the chin drags and the nose stuff, I'll usually I'll like get something in like, and I won't even get it like with Kimuras especially. Like I'll get it here and I'm like match hands. Like get out of this.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
start escaping. Don't tap. Like they'll tap and I'll be like I'm not. Like get out. Like
Yeah.
this is a basic part of this like position. Like you have a chance here. Like learn your escape. And I like doing that. Like especially with the really early guys.
Yeah.
Like I'll tap them with something, and then the rest of like that time limit round, I'll like explain like all right, or maybe like we'll roll for like whatever amount of time, and then I'll break down like do you know what happened? Like this is what happened, and this is what you did wrong. Make sure you avoid
I
that.
really like doing that with
Yeah.
the new guys.
Yeah, well,
It's-
that's the best training for me. Like going up, like Andrew was doing that with me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking dude, like this is the way that you make a good lineage behind you.
Exactly. With the new guys, it'll either go one of two ways. Do what you were saying, submit them maybe once, and then even let them pass you. Like, they're gonna know that you let them. Like,
Yeah,
they're not
oh,
dumb.
yeah, it's 100%. You know,
But like, I get to work too. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't let purple belts pass my guard for fun, but when a white belt does it, and they're like spazzy, they'll really put their shoulder on you. It's hard to get out of side control when a white belt passes your guard. Well, me at least, because
yeah,
I'm small.
especially if they're
Maybe-
heavy. You know?
yeah.
Like this
So-
200-pound guys on me is.
I get to
it's not a
really
fun
work
game.
on like my frames and my hip escapes and stuff, and most of my defense is on lower belts. When it's on higher belts, it's like involuntary. They put me there whether I like it or not, and I get to
Yeah.
work on defense there too. But so you could either go one of two ways. Roll around with them a little bit, feel them out, and then help them afterwards, or they want to try to like bury you where you stand, and they want to just try to kill you. And then I never like it, but you know, you can't just let someone think that because they're trying really hard that they're like better.
Yeah.
Because what are they going to learn if they just try really, really hard all the time and they don't stop and like slow down? So just submit them a couple times. Not like try to hurt them, teach them a lesson, but just let them know like that's not going to work, this won't work.
Yeah.
And eventually those guys always like they slow down and they get it.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well, that's what you need to
can be
encourage them to
helped.
do. Like, how many times have you heard it? Like, you're never gonna get hurt rolling with a black belt.
Right.
You're gonna get hurt rolling with a white belt.
Exactly.
You need to let them. You need to teach them how to throttle
Yeah.
back and like be more calculated with things.
And I feel like even if I tried to, I feel like I couldn't hurt anybody training with them. It's just not in it for me to want to hurt someone.
Yeah. Well, every time I've been hurt, to my knowledge, it's been accidental. You know, I didn't tap fast enough, or they, you know, or honestly, like the first time, like I wasn't able to go like full 180 on an arm was because I didn't take an arm bar seriously enough on a lighter person, and they got it, and I'm like, oh, like, no.
Dude,
Well, let it happen.
That reminds me. I was visiting this gym like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I was rolling with this like big fat dude, and I had a straight ankle, and I've really been working the straight ankle a lot, so I know where I'm gonna finish and where I'm not. And I had it, and so it's at like 30%, not tapping. I'm slower. I'm going slower. I'm going slower. Okay, it's close to like 80%. Why aren't you tapping, dude? You know what he's doing? The dude is laying there flat on his back like this, looking at me like this. I'm like, bro, I don't know if you know it or not, but it's gonna pop soon.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting there looking at me, like not defending, like being weird. And I don't give it my all, but I take it to a point where he does tap. He's like, oh yeah, there's the pop. I'm like, wait, what? Why did you just let me do that?
Yeah.
Why did you not try to defend it? You know?
Was he a lower level belt?
No, he's a purple belt.
Oh.
It was so weird. Like, why would you just not respect the submission? Like, because it was because I'm smaller. He probably like thought it was like a joke that I was going for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, people like that, and they're still purple belts. I don't know. Some people don't catch on.
Yeah. Pride doesn't have a belt, man.
Dude, I don't care about tapping like bullshit. That's not even a submission. If it hurts, I'm out of there.
Dude, I've tapped to fucking people that are way worse than me. I just put myself in a position like to test, like, oh, can I get out of this?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's
I used to
silly,
be
man.
bad with it, man. I used to have a little bit of an ego when I was a blue belt, because I was like just starting to get like, you know, I started to understand like how to be like a decent competitor, and I don't know.
I feel like it's you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like his thing on integrating your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have that pride in the pocket to when you need to pull it out, man. Like, it's gonna keep you from giving up when there's 1 minute left on the clock there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just glad that I'm past that. I'm not like, I don't like get mad anymore.
Yeah. You can't let it take the wheel. You gotta like let it out in spurts.
This is jiu-jitsu. It's not MMA.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your opinion on that? Do you think you would ever do MMA?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I used to when I first started, I would spar like once a week at least. MMA. We used to have like a decent MMA program. We had a couple fighters, some pros, but the program fell off. The guys either retired or they just stopped fighting. They had kids or something. Life got in the way, so we shut the program down. But
what was it, like Muay Thai, boxing?
We had a dude that was a super good Thai fighter, and he would teach striking. We did Muay Thai, and we had this like Division II wrestler that was super good at just holding people in the cage, taking them down and shit. And you know, when those guys left, what do we have now? We had a couple guys that did like some amateur fights, but you know, they're not really looking to fight anymore, so I don't do too much MMA. But I used to really want to do it. And what's kind of turning me down from now is I met a couple fighters that like have cut to 125, and they're huge.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I would have to fight you. Fuck.
Yeah.
But so I would probably have to do straw weight, 115.
Yeah.
And how many straw weights are out there really, like for men?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it was like against like a dude that was like 1-0 or something, like an inexperienced amateur. I would definitely take the fight if I got some like time in to train.
Yeah, like you could fit a camp in beforehand.
Yeah, if I got some good cage wrestling work and some decent striking work, I would definitely do it. But that's probably not in the works for a while now.
Yeah.
So,
How old are you right now?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you got time.
Yeah,
you
I
got
know.
time, baby.
Hopefully.
Shit, man. I thought you were like early 20s. I didn't know you were like baby 20s.
Yeah, baby 20s.
Yeah.
I turned 21 the day before Fight to Win.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's be cool.
All right, man.
You gonna get drunk with me or?
I will do it. I will
Sweet.
drink to that. If you win, I'll like first round on me.
All right.
Get the
Yeah.
most get a martini.
All right.
Wear a bow tie.
Sounds
James
good.
Bond that shit. Let's
Nice.
do it.
I'll bring a bow tie. I have a bow tie, dude.
I'll bring mine.
All right. That'd make for a good picture.
Yeah, no doubt.
What does
Oh,
James
fuck.
Bond drink?
A martini.
Oh, really?
Shaken, not stirred.
Interesting.
I fucking love James Bond, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what we were talking about that I wanted to bring up? The game that you're into, Resident
Ooh,
Evil.
Yeah, I love
Dude,
Resident Evil, man.
So I have to tell you this story. So the
Okay.
new one just came out, right? The remake.
Yeah.
Me, my cousin, and my brother, well, a couple of my cousins and my brother. Like that was the shit. Like growing up, that was like the game that's my oldest memory playing with them. Obviously, I wasn't playing because I was like fucking 5 or 6 years old.
Is which one? The second one?
All of them, like
Oh,
the
okay.
beginning ones, like
Yeah,
way
yeah.
like PS1 shit. So, they've kind of been in my family for a while.
Yeah.
So the remake for 2 came out, and me and my one cousin have been beating them ever since 5.
Yeah.
Like when it was multiplayer, like we've just been going ham on it. So 7 came out, I flew to Wisconsin and we beat that together.
What?
And that was fucking fun, right?
Yeah.
2 came out, and both of us stream now. We both have Twitches, so
Mhm.
we're like, yo, I'm coming out there for a week. We had plans to do like a few different, like there was like a Smash tournament, like some other, it was a loaded ass fucking week.
Yeah.
And the plan was to beat 0, the remake of 1 and 2, all like straight through as much as we could around these other plans.
Yeah.
And we fucking did it. The day I had to leave, like on the plane, we had just beat the end of 2 like 5 hours before.
Aw.
Like we were pushing it, dude. And we did all of them on the hardest difficulty.
Dude, I think. So, did you do the remake of 1 or the original 1?
The remake of 1. And I
Okay,
hate
okay.
tank controls, bro.
You hate what?
Tank controls.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like fucking... Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So fucking bad. Like, 0 was like... It was crazy. Like, the craziest part is, like, we binged through 0 and then got to 1 in one night. It
0
took-
fucking sucks.
Dude,
It's hard.
We did it for 19 hours straight.
My God.
Dude, like I don't remember the storyline. that's how like on and off, like because when you die you hand the controller up.
Yeah.
Like that was, and then the other guy got a piss break and like could eat, and like it was just like we're just going ham
Yeah.
beating these. And it's
Zero-
all live.
0
streamed.
is one of the ones that it's not like part of the main storyline. It like stems off a little bit
Yeah.
because it has secondary characters like Billy and
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
They're not really main characters.
No.
So the story, it's not going to follow the main story. But 2 Resident Evils that it was ones that I actually played and enjoyed. Like I didn't like Outbreak.
Outbreak was the multiplayer
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, I
it's
didn't like that.
Umbrella's people versus the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only one I didn't like. Both Outbreaks.
Yeah, my cousin, I didn't even play that one because he said it was so bad. He's like, don't even play. It's not even canon, right? Like, it's not
No.
canon to the storyline. So he said, don't even bother. Like, that's what I'm into it for.
It's
It's the
some-
reason I hate the movies.
Yeah.
They fucking ruin the
I
fucking
refuse to watch the movies,
Dude.
man. Doesn't
They
make-
should be
doesn't make
called, like,
sense.
Super Zombie Movie 3000.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be called
based
fucking
on Resident Evil.
Yeah, loosely as fuck.
Yeah. So the 2 that I fucking hate playing, 0, because it's hard, and one that's even harder than that for me is Code Veronica.
Oh, dude, I don't even think I beat that one.
Oh my God, I don't blame you, man.
I don't even think I played that one.
Shit's hard. Like not like the.
What console was that one?
It was on Dreamcast, PS2, and
Oh,
GameCube.
man. Yeah, I should have got it on GameCube.
But it's
man.
one of the best ones. Code Veronica is
Yeah.
one of the best ones. But like 2, 1.
What was the controls like? Was it FPS or
No.
third person?
It was same as like 1, 2, 3.
Oh man, tank controls.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
So that was one of the hardest ones. I can blow by the first one, the remake and the original. 2 is like not even a challenge, and then 3.
Did you?
I enjoyed 3.
The remake of 2 you liked?
Yeah, I really like the remake
Dude,
of 2. I
it
think
was
it's one of
so
the best games I've played in, like, the
Yeah.
past 5 years.
So I can't really remember 2 that much. Like I said, I was like 7 years old when they came out.
Was it a nice refresher to play the remake?
It was great. Like I played the Umbrella Chronicles one, where it was kind of like an arcade shooter, but
Was
it
that
kind
on
of
the
took you.
Wii?
It was.
I played that.
Yeah, but it takes you through the storylines.
Yeah.
So you've actually like beaten to your recollection to like classic. Is the storyline much deviated on the remake?
From original 2 and 2?
Yeah.
No, the remake of 2? A little bit. Like, they keep it in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, all the cutscenes are pretty accurate. The storyline is the only thing they fucked something up with Sherry. I forget what they did with Sherry that was different. Oh yeah, the part where the chief captures her and you have to like play as her and escape the orphanage. I don't believe that was in the original Resident Evil 2.
The chief?
Yeah, Chief Irons. Fat guy.
I don't even know.
He like pulls a gun on Claire in the garage.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he died like I think he died in his office
Mm-hmm.
in the first one, and then he dies after like you get Sherry back
Yeah.
in the second one. So just little things, but they do a circle and it's right back to the main story.
Yeah.
So they don't go in a
Complete
different
deviation,
direction. And like even like the ending scenes with the lab and how you kill
Mr. X.
Mr. X and William Birkin. The one death scene for Mr. X, I think it was in like Claire's B, where you're on the elevator and fucking Birkin like stabs him and kills him right when you're getting on the elevator. That was like the coolest cutscene in the entire game. So
He kills Mr. X.
yeah,
We played the Leon one. We could only do fucking one.
Yeah.
So I haven't even played the Claire one. I know it's different.
Oh,
it's
what?
different. Dude, is it better? Did we pick the wrong one?
no,
No.
they're good in their own ways.
Yeah,
So I
no
still
doubt.
have to beat. I did Leon A.
And then the Ada part, I didn't even get to do
Mm-mm.
that yet.
So I did Leon A. I did Claire B. And then I did Claire A. I think I still have to do Leon B. I'm like in the process of doing that now. I took a break for a couple weeks. I'm gonna get back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they have that mini game too.
Which
What's it
minigame?
called? What is it? Mercenaries?
Oh, fuck yeah,
no,
dude.
No, it's not Mercenaries though. It's
But
something different. It's like side
basically-
quests.
Yeah, it's basically what it is, though.
Yeah, it's
That's-
it's
yeah,
basically Mercenaries.
Yeah. Dude, I've always been a fan of that. Like,
Yeah.
4 was the first one I ever beat by myself.
I was
like,
just
to
gonna
completion.
mention 4.
Yeah.
That Mercenaries was sick.
It's so good.
When I was like 12 or something, I did, all 5 stars on every character, every map, and I got the hand cannon, and that was like probably the hardest unlockable that I've done ever in a video game. Just beating all the mercenaries with 5
Yeah.
stars. That shit was hard.
Dude, it really was. I think my favorite Resident Evil to this day is probably 5.
I like
Just 'cause
5.
Sheva's my baby girl.
Yeah,
man.
she is.
I love her.
It's pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she had the bow, bro.
Dude,
Like,
that
I shoot
bow was
archery.
badass.
Dude, it was fucking, it was so good.
Yeah, 5. I don't like how it, started skewing from the main story. But how long can you keep one storyline? That's-
Yeah, I mean, I think it ended good. Like, I
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
way it held. Like, it wasn't like everyone's argument was like, oh, it's not a horror game.
Yeah.
But it held, like, the story that it had was legit. Like,
Mhm.
I liked it a lot.
the final boss was Wesker, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he stayed dead to this day, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah,
'Cause-
fuck Wesker.
Well, I love Wesker as a villain and as a character.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that he's dead is like, oh, man, like, I'm sad that he's gone. But if they bring him back, it's going to make the game series worse. Like, he's dead, leave him dead.
Yeah.
Like,
He's been-
that was a huge moment in the storyline. Like,
Yeah.
let it go.
He's been shitty since the first Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like, why shouldn't he be dead?
Yeah.
I think it was a good move.
Yeah, it was so good. Like, just the way it all played out up to that point, and his, like, his abilities, like the teleportation and shit. So
I
fucking-
liked when you fight him in
at the end with
no,
the
like
volcano?
when you fist fight him, in 5, I think.
In the plane, like when you're inside the plane, like before you land in the volcano.
So no, it's in like a house or something. I haven't played 5 in years, but I do play 4 a lot, and he says like 7 minutes is all you have.
7 minutes is all
yeah.
I have to play.
Yeah,
that's
and
my
then you
shit,
just gotta
bro.
fuck him up with your
Yeah.
bare hands for like 7 minutes.
Yo.
That was a really
And
cool
he had
fight
Jill's
scene.
like fucking crazy mind thing. She was trying to fucking kill you too.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved 5.
Insane game. But
6 was kind of. It depended which storyline you picked.
yeah,
But there was only one good one.
I like 6.
You liked 6?
I did. But 7, if you had Resident Evil 7 in front of you right now, I would take it out of your hands and I would throw it out that window.
You hated it that much?
Fuck 7, dude.
Was it too scary, or was it just shitty that the way it went and deviated?
It was
from
like
the
dumb.
storyline?
It was like Five Nights at Freddy's scary. It was
Yeah.
stupid. But like, it was
I thought
it was
fucking scary.
it was annoying.
There was a lot of repetition and shit.
It was so annoying. I
Yeah.
didn't like the first thing that was like a red flag that it was gonna be a shit game for me, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Was like in the beginning when like you're getting your hands chopped off and shit, and he just like rips you apart, and then next thing you know you're like eating dinner, like with both your hands reattached. It's insane. Who was doing it? Your girlfriend, right? Like, the main character's girlfriend was like stabbing the dude in the beginning of 7.
No, it was the family of the house.
No, but you remember you went to like find your missing girlfriend, and then you get fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird. The beginning of that game was fucking trippy as shit.
Yeah, I didn't make it past like the mansion. I gave up. I'm like,
Yeah.
like this isn't gonna be fun.
Yeah. I wouldn't. You know what was fun was the fact that I was playing it with my cousin, and we were
That's
both
why
like,
it was fun.
you know what I mean? Like we were both getting jump scared and just like
Yeah.
fucking, like the whole time we were beating 2, we did it with like in the most like the hard difficulty, and you had
Yeah.
to use the typewriter.
The ink ribbons.
And, yeah, you had to have ink ribbons. But like the whole game was us just juking zombies, and like
Yeah.
we had like a death counter on the Twitch stream,
Mhm.
but like I was like so mad that we didn't have a juke counter. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was just
Every
so-
time you fucking break a zombie's
Yo,
ankles or something, just count
so,
that.
So good. It was just so funny because we would challenge each other like, "Yo, I'll bet you can't get through this with the liquor and those 4 zombies in that fucking hallway without shooting."
In the
them
lab?
once."
Or
No,
at
just
the
like
police
yeah,
station?
just at the police
Yeah.
station. Yeah, in that one hallway.
Dude, one of the hardest non-boss battle like parts of the 2 were in the dog kennels with all the liquors, and in the lab when you get the trophy and all the liquors start dropping from the ceiling, man.
Dude.
I died so many times in the lab.
You had to have the shotgun.
Yeah.
Had to have it. Had to have it.
I dumped my Magnum rounds on those fat fucks in the sewer.
Oh yeah.
Like, one thing that like I like and dislike about the game was it was so hard to kill shit.
Yeah, well, you played it on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was so hard.
It made you conserve the ammo, and I like that. Like I like
Yeah.
feeling like there's a certain deliciousness to a
Yeah,
game
yeah.
when it makes you have to hoard your resources.
But
Like,
it's not
fuck
like
it.
overly like
Yeah.
it's not like ridiculous.
It gave you enough. Like the thing that I hated the most was having to go back and like swap items just to go all the
Oh,
way back
yeah,
down
yeah.
here and pick up that one fucking
and having
thing.
to coordinate, like when I was running from Mr. X, I'd be like, okay, item box here. I'm gonna take a shortcut through the library, go down to the West Wing, and I'm gonna go to this hallway. There's a fucking another box here, and I'll take that and use it for. And I had to really think. And
Yeah.
I like that.
I do like it when you have to be calculated. Do you play any like RPGs or like RTS games?
So I really like Fallout.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool. More of a Borderlands guy myself,
Yeah,
but
I never got into Borderlands. It just didn't appeal to me.
yeah.
But Fallout 3, I put like hundreds and hundreds of hours on. It was insane. New Vegas, I played a lot. I did play Fallout 4 for a little bit, but I wasn't as into it as I was Fallout 3.
Yeah.
But that's it for RPG, really.
Yeah.
I wish I had gotten into like PC gaming. There seems to be a
Yeah.
lot more.
Man, you gotta be careful, man, because if you're playing MMOs, you're gonna lose sleep and your life's
Yeah.
gonna get worse.
I think my friends back in the day, they're in the League of Legends.
Dude, my buddy that I stream with, like he plays D&D, like League of Legends, and he just quit World of Warcraft to do
Yeah.
the Smash thing with me.
Dude,
like,
how-
this is our thing,
How fucking old is World of Warcraft?
bro. And it's still like,
And people,
well, their problem is like right now, like the politics in it, like the
Yeah.
changes they're making to like I don't even fucking know. I never played it because like in high school I was stuck on this game called Maple Story.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a childish game.
Mhm.
It's like a side-scrolling like Mario thing.
Like Roblox childish.
I don't know. I never played Roblox, which is messed up.
Have you ever seen the Roblox memes?
I probably have.
Oh my god, they're so fucking
so good.
funny, man.
But yeah, like it was just this, dude. I just lost. Like me and my brother would just play for days on end, and like it was like right. I was still in high school when it was happening, and like I spent my whole like junior year summer playing that fucking game.
Dude, I know that feeling.
It's a mistake, dude.
My favorite game. I also played all the UFC games, and some of my best video game memories are me like talking shit to people after I like fucking sleep their ass or submit them on some bullshit, like using Damian Maya.
That's funny as shit.
And like they'll message me like, you're a pussy, like just like stand up and bang, because I would take them down and spam submissions. Or if I was using the right guy, I would just spam overhand rights, and like I had like 2 combinations that worked really well and knock them out. So talking shit on UFC was fucking awesome.
Stand up and bang.
It's fucking crazy, man. It's like stand up and bang. Like, dude, this is a video game.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
For real, bro.
I paid $60.
Adapt to my
you know?
strategy, bro.
You know, you want to pay for my Xbox Live membership and the disc? I'll fight how you want me to fight.
Yeah, for real.
So, did a lot of shit talking there, and then the one that takes the cake is Fight Night Champion for Xbox 360. I spent like a whole year, like, not sleeping a single hour for weeks.
It's so bad.
I was number 7 in the world, or
That's so
6
fucking
at Fight Night
funny.
Champion, and I still remember my best combination to this day. Sidestep right uppercut. Boom. What was it? Sidestep right uppercut. Left hook right after that, and then you backstep and do a power right straight. And I would knock people out like inside of 3 rounds with that shit, and I would get so much hate mail about spamming the backstep right. And that was what they call it. They would like, quit spamming the fucking backstep right, faggot. they would grill me, dude. They would cut my ass up.
Yo, that's funny as shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yo. Faggot.
Yeah, dude.
Spamming the backstep right.
Dude, imagine being called a faggot because you beat someone in a
Bro,
boxing game.
Bro, you play Modern Warfare 2, dude. Like,
Oh.
I know all about it. Fuck
Oh
your
my
mom,
God,
you fucking
man.
pussy.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's so... I had this conversation with my cousin. I actually had him on my podcast recently. We were talking, like, where is the most toxic good gaming community? And, like, I don't play League of Legends, but he said that's where it is. And I couldn't fucking believe it. But
Nah,
apparently,
no way.
dude, like... I don't know, man. It must be like the Smash community is raunchy.
Yeah.
Like if you,
Yeah, I know.
Because dude, like
I've heard.
dude, if you get disrespectfully dunked, like people will spam that fucking video
Jesus
all over social
Christ.
media, and like you'll get known as the guy that got fucking dunked on.
Oh, in Fight Night Champion, if you knock someone down, you could hit X and it'll replay it.
Oh, and they have to watch it like with you.
So if the dude was talking shit on the mic
Oh,
and I
shit.
knocked him down, and especially if I was losing the match and I knocked him down, I would replay it to its fullest extent, like the whole length of the clip, and you get to replay it 3 times.
Yeah, you would just let it go.
Dude, it's 1:30 a.m. I don't got school tomorrow. I'm letting them bitches replay. Like, you're gonna see it, and dude, they would get so mad.
Yo, that's funny as shit, bro.
Yeah, but it's different now. Like Modern Warfare
These
2.
communities are cancer.
Modern Warfare 2, you could get people going just by saying like, "What's up?" and they would just cut your ass up
Yeah,
right
for
after
real.
that. But
Bro, like you get banned and stuff now, dude. There was no like
Yeah.
fucking, there was no blocking back then, bro. There was
No.
no ban hammer. You just had to eat it.
I play World War II, Call of Duty. I still play
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It came out
yeah.
like 2 years ago, but I think it's like the best one in recent history.
You play Battlefield 1?
I did. I didn't. It didn't click with me.
I like that.
I like World War II
Yeah.
better. I try to talk shit. I try to start shit. It doesn't work. Like,
the people are too classy.
it'll be like a mom or something, and she sucks at zombies, and I could hear her kids in the background, and I'll be like, "Yo, bitch, go take care of your kid. Get off this fucking game." And she'll be like, "Well, that's not nice. I'm just trying to relax a little bit." And I'm like, "All right, now I feel bad, man." Like,
It's
come
like
on.
the best counter that she could probably possibly use.
She was just like, I just got on. My kids were playing. They're trying to teach me how to play. And I'm like, "Oh, all right. I thought you were just like, forget it, man."
Sincere supposed to
I can't talk. I can't talk shit like I used to, dude.
We do need to have the right community. Like, in the Smash thing, like, you know what Discord is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have, like, a Smash Discord.
Mhm.
And, bro, the whole... like, we have a thing where if you're streaming, you can grab clips and share them, like, really
Yeah.
easily. And, dude, like, we'll just talk so much shit on that stuff. It's like, yo, remember that like, I'll just reshare the same one whenever that person's talking. I'm like, yo, you remember that time I fucking got you with this? And you let me break you let me break your shield, like, and I teabag, like.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh my god, dude, it's addict. Like, all these meme stickers, bro, they're from, like, yeah, like, they're all from shit that happens in our Discord. Like, I use King K. Rool, and I always give people the suck with that cannon, bro.
Oh,
It's
man.
it's so trolly.
That's awesome.
If I'm on the mic, it's like, oh, I'm gonna give you the suck more.
Dude, I loved when I was like good at a game and I could just abuse like the shit that I was good at and
Yeah.
and piss people off with it.
Dude, well, I think, like, I was in the military before, and I had this conversation with Andrew, actually, about you, like, when you have good banter with, like, your bros, and you can, like, talk shit, and, like, it only builds up the synergy you have,
Yeah.
man, like, you need to hold on to that. Like, the fact that people are so soft nowadays, and that stuff's kind of going to the wayside, like,
Yeah.
I'm not for bullying at all, but it's really sad, because you really need to dig to find those groups of people.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
Like, in
especially
jiu-jitsu,
right
like,
now.
we can shit talk all day. Like, the thing with the baseball bat choke I was saying
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
like, I'll fucking call people a pussy. Like, I was calling Andrew a pussy, like, you ain't gonna fucking sink it in 30 seconds, you fucking pussy. Like,
Yeah.
he's trying so hard.
My brother actually, he used to do. We said we're gonna start doing it again. When there was like a new person at our gym,
Yeah.
he would like be rolling with me, and the new person would be like kind of nearby, and we would know. So my brother would have me in like mount and be working an arm triangle or maybe even just like a basic choke, and he would like lean close to me, make sure the other person's watching, and be like, I'm gonna fuck you up, you little pussy. Like, I'm putting your ass to fucking sleep. And like they think that he's being completely serious, and it's not until like way after they know he's joking.
Yeah,
But
that's funny.
I want him to
shit.
start doing stuff like that more.
I usually, what I end up doing, if I ever get a back take, I always whisper in their ears, sleep.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes.
Shh, it's okay. It's okay.
If I tell someone like, yeah, I'll bow and arrow you. They're like, you're not bow and arrowing me. You're not even gonna get my back. I'm like, okay. If I do end up getting it, it feels so good. I was like, what's this? What's gonna happen? Oh, I'm about to grab your pants. I'm grabbing your pants.
Uh-oh.
I just do it to
What's
them.
happening?
Yeah.
Watch out.
We got a couple white belts that I like doing that with. It's fun.
It's good to filter out, like, who are the cool ones too. You know,
I know,
if you
man.
can, like, Zach Edwards, like, that's why me and him get along, because he's a shit talker.
Yeah,
But I
man.
love that. So he, like, it took him a while, but he's like, all right. Like, he shit talks me, but I'm like, you're only saying that because you like me. He's like, yeah, it's true. It's like, fuck you, Brad.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
I fucking love him, man. Out of control. What do we got for time right now? It's 2 hours and 6
Wow,
minutes, man.
It flew.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's good. I'm glad this flew as easy as I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
I knew you were a funny dude and had some interesting shit to
Yeah.
say. I think that's pretty good though. It is a Sunday, and I know you
Mhm.
guys drove a while. Do you want to close with anything specific? Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, that's my mom. Well, I hope she didn't watch.
She
No,
Oh,
she
yeah.
didn't.
John Naples says no cursing, Mom.
Oh my god. Oh, that's crazy. I would have never
And
guessed.
when someone calls shit, it says man child.
What's that?
Oh yeah, man-child. So remember when I said when I was like 16 I would compete a lot?
Yeah,
That was a nickname given to me.
man-child.
Man-child, because I would do adult divisions and beat like 28-year-old dudes, and I was
While you were
16,
16.
and I didn't have like a single hair on my face. And then Sean would be like, "That's a man-child."
That's fucking awesome.
So that stuck with a little bit, and I think it faded away once I turned like 19 or so. They should bring it back. You know?
They keep calling me, cause I wanted to ask you, do you prefer gi or no gi? I'll after you answer that, I'll go into my story. That
Gi,
I was gonna go.
100,000%.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It's what I started with,
Okay.
and it's
that's
the rules.
fair.
It's the rule set that I feel like I'm better at. But with that being said, I feel like recently, like less than a year recently, I've really been expanding and getting better at the no-gi game with all different rule sets. But you know, anytime anyone asks me that question, it'll never change. It'll always be gi.
Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of people that are younger like prefer no gi because
Yeah.
it's faster paced. It's
I
looser.
don't get that. I mean, a match is as fast paced as you want it to be.
Yeah,
You know?
I like them both. Like, it's hard for me to answer that question.
Yeah.
I guess I started with no gi, so I'd say that. But
It's more
I really
popular
enjoy gi. Like, I
around-
hated it in the beginning. Like, for me, because I knew a little bit of gi stuff,
Yeah.
and none of it was working because people had these fucking lapel grips. Fucking, like, I'm
They always say
claustrophobic, so
the grips fluster them.
Dude, I got panicky
And,
as
like-
fuck in the beginning. I hated it until I learned like my first like good like couple collar chokes, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I know where to go now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, with like gi, I just feel like it's the same as no gi. The people say it's like slow paced. I mean, what are they gripping you up? They're slowing you down because they got your pants or your collar. Break the grip and move.
Yeah.
You know, you could do that. But I get it too that no gi, it can be more exciting when you train. If you're rolling with a big guy in the gi, the round's gonna suck a lot more than a round with that same big guy in no gi. I could tell you that.
Oh yeah, dude, especially if they're fucking getting their knee on you.
Mhm.
Cause they can. I love doing that to
Yeah.
white belts.
Oh, dude.
Get behind the
The
neck
white
with
belt
the fucking
killer. Man.
It's like if they tap to that, I'm always like, man, don't let people tap you to that, man. Don't let people do that to
Yeah.
you. It's like the same thing I do in Smash. It's like, don't let people disrespect you like that, bro.
Don't let him dunk on you, dude. Come on.
Oh shit! But I was saying, like when I first started, like I had a karate gi because like my friend just gave me it because
Oh,
I didn't want to
man.
buy one for like $100.
Yeah.
But like people were calling me the caveman because I would always show up and like have the crazy hair and shit.
Shit.
And that nickname stuck. Like I have a nice gi now. Like
Yeah. You're the caveman still?
I guess.
Dude.
That's what Andrew calls me.
Yeah, dude. He's like, he keeps going caveman. Like he'll see me rolling and like the last time it happened, I remember I tapped somebody and he smiled and went, caveman.
Nicknames are great, dude.
Dude, it really like it's so funny. Like you don't ask for man-child as your fucking nickname.
No, why would I ask for
Yeah,
that?
you know what I
don't
mean?
want
Like I
that.
don't want caveman, but if
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna be, then all right, I'll be the fucking
Like,
caveman.
at ours, we have
I'll show you fucking caveman.
we have bench press at our gym. We have mouth.
Whose mouth?
We have
Mouth.
okay, so we have two Shawns, and you can't say like okay, so we have 3 Shawns. One of the Shawns is mouth, and then the other 2 Shawns, we tried saying like black Shawn, but 2 of them are black dudes, so you can't say that. So we say skinny Shawn, and then like big Shawn or brown belt Shawn.
That's awesome. We have 2 Toms,
Yeah.
and one of them's like a fucking like gargantuan, like giant man, and the
Yeah.
other one's small. So we like one of them's Big Tom, the other one's Little Tom, but Little Tom hates being called Little Tom.
No.
So like whenever we see, like we have like a board, like a whiteboard, like oh who's gonna be at this tournament, like what just like whatever, like who's going to like the fight to win coming
Yeah,
up, like
yeah.
who's coming in, who has a table. And I see Tom there, and I'm always yelling at him, like, why don't you write Big Tom? Why don't you write Big Tom so we know it's Tom? It's so fucked up.
Adjectives are good nicknames too. Like we have like 4 mics. There's like there's big mic.
So many mics.
There's medium mic. There's small mic, and then there's bald mic.
Oh man.
So adjectives
That's
are
good.
great.
One of my best friends at the gym, and he's one of my best friends, so I can say this without offending him. Is his name's Brian, and he's the only Asian guy in our gym.
Yeah.
But we call him Chink Brian when he's not there. Me and this Filipino guy, like.
Oh, so the Filipino dude is in on it?
Yeah, dude. Like, well, me and him, like, we're throwing around racial slurs all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Like, it's so bad. Like, he calls me like spick and stuff. And when
Uh-huh.
Brian's in, like, he's Chinese, but we'll call him all the other Asian stereotypes.
Except for
Except
Chink.
for Chink.
Oh my god.
Well, I call him Gook, and then like.
That's
Tony
great.
calls him a zipper head, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, dude.
It's just, but it's like it's what I was saying, man. Like that banter,
Yeah.
you need that because it's hilarious.
For
in
some
context.
reason, in jiu-jitsu, you get away with it a shit ton more than
Yeah.
anywhere else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the military is like the only thing like that. It was close to that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and even like video games, like you get banned and shit for this. Like I hate it. Like
Yeah.
everyone's so ban hammery. It's not like that in jiu-jitsu. And I just love that,
Yeah,
man.
me too, man.
So
Yeah, so what?
what are you gonna do?
I'm not sponsored yet. Whatever.
You're not getting dropped by Nike.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I'm gonna interview Brian actually in August, so he can clarify that he's not offended by those things when we bring that up.
Good.
Anytime I say something like that's remotely, it's not even racist. Eric will scream, "You can't say that. That's racist."
Yeah.
And it won't even be anything to do with race.
I do the same shit. Like
I'm like, that's racist.
like Zach Edwards is one where he'll like say something and it'll just be something generally insulting and I'll be like, dude, that's mad racist.
No,
Like,
I'll just pick out some like an Asian food, and I'm like, "Oh, well, you're not Asian. That's racist."
that's so funny.
The big one
I do the same thing
with her. She would like, we would be talking about Puerto Rican music,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, that's the shit with like the trumpets, right? And that's like Mexican.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, no, that's not fucking Puerto Rican music. And she'd get so mad because I'd be like, the shit with the trumpets.
They're like mariachis or
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah, that's what I would explain.
That's fucking awesome. I'm the same way. But it's like I was saying, man, it's so important to find people that can take a joke, man.
Yeah, because I mean, in a couple years,
Because you're breaking each other's bones like every fucking day. You're trying
Yeah.
to put each other to fucking violent sleep.
what's a couple words?
Yeah, you know?
What's it gonna be like in like 30 years when like you're like you can't say that shit and people just walk around like robots?
Dude, not looking forward to it, man.
I hate robot people. You can't talk to them.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck,
dude, like
man.
even like did you watch that stand-up comedy clip that I had?
Which one?
Like I interviewed a comedian and
Mhm.
I tried stand-up comedy with him.
No, I
But
didn't see
it's,
that.
I'll send it to you. It's pretty funny. It's short too.
Yeah, it was after the
Yeah, it's the
interview.
after
Okay.
episode. So I was telling him, one of my bits was like on Twitch you can't be shirtless while you're
Mhm.
playing video games or you get like penalized.
Yeah.
And it's because all these chicks were showing their titties for tips and stuff.
Oh my god.
And it's like, but I was saying like it doesn't matter where I go nowadays. Like I have to wear business casual no matter what fucking line of work I'm trying to do. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What if you're a lifeguard?
Right?
What do you do then?
Yeah. Like what if you're doing like instructional videos?
They're gonna have like,
Lifeguard.
dude,
What's that? Scuba suit. You gotta wear a wetsuit.
dude, pretty soon they're gonna have this like unisex looking one piece thing that lifeguards have to wear. You know?
I guess so. Like a singlet.
Yeah, we're heading in that direction.
Yeah, whatever, man. Like, when people say things to offend people, to actually cause them like legitimate like harm,
Yeah.
like that's not fucking cool.
I think it's
and I'm
dumb.
with the guy that's getting bullied. Like I'll fuck that guy up that's talking shit.
Yeah.
But if like you're my black friend and I can't call you my black friend,
Yeah.
come on, man. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're in on
Yeah,
it.
like if there's two mics and I can't call you Black Mike if you're the Black Mike, like it's so funny. Like my brother has a fuck ton of friends named Mike.
Mhm.
One of them's like, well, the black one's Mike Dawkins. 'Cause
Yeah.
For some reason, that's how the name stuck. But White Mike is White Trash Mike.
White Trash Mike.
Like that's his fucking nickname.
Oh my god.
And
You
it's
guys
fucking-
couldn't leave it alone at White Mike. It has
Yeah.
to be White Trash Mike.
I don't know how it happened.
Like, hey
But
man, that's not like middle class suburban Mike over there.
That's
Like, why
White Trash
Trash?
Mike. That's so fucking funny, man. All right, man. Well, I kind of want to fuck around with you on these mats,
All right.
and I think this banter has been good. Do you want to close out with anything specific? Any shout-outs, sponsorships, Instagram tags?
Nah, not really. You know, my friends know who they are if I mention them on the show.
That's cool, man.
It's all good.
Yeah. All right, and then your Instagram handle if people want to check you out.
It is Naples_syrup. Had that for like 7 years now. I'm not changing it. So.
I'm with that. And it's in the description if you guys want to copy and paste. That being said, thank you, sir, for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure, man. All right, let's cut it. Look at my receding hairline. It's like that zebra stuff.